Yeah, and we're really similar right there. I think Hedgesville's going to battle. I do think they have improved, but I think Musselman, they're going to they're going to take a lot of time off the clock, so they're not going to put up as many points as a lot of these teams have. But I have Musselman winning 42-7. I think they're just going to be too dominant in the ground game, which Hedgesville's really struggled at stopping this year. Also, I think defensively Musselman continues to improve. So again, 42-7. I have Musselman winning, and we'll go ahead and move to the next one, which my personal opinion is the game of the week, and that's University hosting Spring Mills. JD, who do you got and why?
This is a tough one. I mean, both of us have them just right there, 4 and 5, different rankings of 4 and 5, in our polls. But they're both coming in at 4and 2. The university is playing at home, and I'll keep it short and sweet. That's kind of the reason why I gave them the edge. I've got them ranked one spot ahead of Spring Mills. And like I said, it could go either way, but right now, just my opinion, I think University is going to win a close one, 27-20, Drew.
I like that. That's a good score. And I've been kind of flip flopping on this all week. I mean, I originally coming into the week, I was like, man, Spring Mills are just too talented for University. But watching some of their film and how well University plays defense, I mean, they swarm to the football. It's
Right.
going to be scary, and we don't know the health of Blake Sanders. He had a separated shoulder a couple weeks ago, and it clearly. Hopefully the bye week helped them out, and they struggled against Morgantown offensively. So, with that being said, I think Spring Mills is going to compete. I think they'll play hard. But I still have University winning 35-28. But again, I would not be surprised to see Spring Mills go up there and with Buddy Hess's defense, who plays extremely hard, they've only given up, I think, 47 total points this season. So that they, in 6 games, only give up 47 points, that's phenomenal. But again, University's a well-oiled machine on offense. They don't make many mistakes. They don't turn the ball over. So with that being said, I think University comes out with a W. So we'll move forward to the other game this week, and that is going to be Martinsburg hosting Washington. JD, who do you got and why?
Well, Washington's definitely kind of it seems like they win and lose every other game. So if they kind of that trend, this week they would be taking a loss. But honestly, that Martinsburg has kind of hit their stride. We all know that. They took down the number one team in the state, Morgantown, last week, and I just think they really got the ball rolling on the season. I think they ran off what 5 straight wins now. They're five
Yep.
two. I see that trend continuing, and I've got Martinsburg winning 56-14. Drew.
Yeah, and I had the same thing. You saw Washington; they bounced back from a 51-7 loss to Spring Mills a couple weeks ago. But again, Martinsburg is too much talent. Washington does have a lot of great skill position players. I think Remy is a terrific quarterback. I also think Phil Shields and Matt provide a really good 1-2 tandem. But again, Martinsburg stops the run better than almost any team in the state. And I just don't think that Washington is talented enough to truly compete with Martinsburg for 4 quarters. I do think it'll be a little bit better game than people think. It will be probably 14-7, moving into the second half, kind of similar to how Musselman played, but Martinsburg will run away with it. I have them winning 56-14, so very similar score. But again,
Course,
we'll move to
that's the first time we have exact same score.
yeah,
Exact same.
56-14. That's crazy. I got that wrote down too. So
I do too. That's my.
that's nuts. So again, for the last game of the week is the game we'll be calling on Friday at Jefferson High School, and that's going to be Jefferson hosting Loudoun County. Jefferson won 2 of their last games. Again, still some injuries. Who do you got and why?
Well, we know Loudoun County is always a tough team. I mean, they're undefeated for a reason. They're coming in 7-0, even though Jefferson's got on a 2-game win streak. I think that they could build off.
Encompass the Hall of Fame in its second class. Inductees were unanimously chosen to represent coaches and athletes. Ladies and gentlemen, without further ado, it is my pleasure to introduce to you the Jefferson High School Athletic Hall of Fame, class of 2025. Please welcome our athlete, Roy Benjamin. Mr. Benjamin graduated from JHS in 1982. He then attended Bluefield State College on a full-ride basketball scholarship and graduated from Bluefield State in 1986. During his high school years, Mr. Benjamin was a 3-sport athlete: football, basketball, and track. His pristine corner shot and long-range shot abilities helped him receive all-state basketball honors, as well as leading his team to the first state tournament win in school history his senior year. His speed on the track led him to both regional and state championship meets, with a state championship in the 4x100 meter relay. Continuing his athletic career, he played basketball for 4 years and baseball for 1 year in college, where he earned his degree in PE and social studies. Mr. Benjamin then returned home to Jefferson County and began his teaching career. He started teaching at Charlestown Junior High, and then he began his journey as a Tiger for life at Harpers Ferry Middle Junior High School. He taught there for 38 years, retiring in 2025. During his time at Harpers Ferry, he took the position as the athletic director, which he held for over 25 years. He also served as the assistant football coach for 2 years before becoming the head football coach, the position he would hold for 32 years. He led the team to multiple championship games, an undefeated season, and several winning seasons. He was also the head basketball coach for both the boys and girls for a total of 30 years combined, leading the girls to 2 MAC championship titles. One team included his own daughter, Tori. In addition, Mr. Benjamin shared his coaching skills with the Cougars. He was the head track coach for 10 years and assistant basketball coach at Jefferson for 4 years. In addition to being a dedicated teacher and coach, Mr. Benjamin is also known for the dedication to his community. He has been a mentor to multiple students and youth, both on and off the field and the court, with the PASS program, Harpers Ferry Midget Basketball League, and Jefferson County Little League Baseball and Softball. Roy is always willing to lend a hand in the community and help where he can, both on and off the field. We are proud to include him in the Athletic Hall of Fame at JHS. Roy Benjamin. Please welcome athlete Chris Ericson. Mr. Ericson, a 1973 graduate of JHS, moved to Harpers Ferry in 1970 and right away started playing basketball at Harpers Ferry High School under the leadership of Coach Bob Rizzo. Mr. Ericson earned great success at Harpers Ferry, setting school records at 45 points in one game, 38 rebounds in one game, All-State, Class A First Team, Small School Player of the Year in the Tri-State area in 1972. After the end of the 1972 high school year, the county's 3 high schools were consolidated into one, Jefferson High School. The students and athletes felt the uncertainty of the times and left their beloved high schools and began a new era in Jefferson County athletics, playing for the new JHS. Mr. Ericson was one of those players. The 1972-1973 squad went 22-2 in their first state playoff bid. His honors for the 72-73 season include All-State, Class AAA First Team, and Class AAA Player of the Year in the state of West Virginia for 1973, as well as recognition on various All-American teams. In 3 high school years, Mr. Ericson scored 1,533 total points in a 2-point shot era and collected 1,041 total rebounds and received over 80 scholarship offers. Continuing his education and basketball career, Mr. Ericson picked Penn State, coached by John Beck. His honors at Penn State include captain of the team in 1977, All-Conference 1977, 17-point average as a junior and senior, and 8 rebounds per game as a junior and senior. Mr. Ericson went on to play professionally in Europe and at home in the United States. With the end of his career, he gave back to the game he loved and coached girls and boys basketball teams. He set a standard of athletic excellence at JHS in the school's first year of existence. We are proud to include him in the Athletic Hall of Fame at Jefferson High School. Chris Ericson. Please welcome athlete John Lowry Jr. John is escorted by Ethan Moxley. A 1988 graduate of JHS, Mr. Lowry's passion for baseball was evident from his early days as a student athlete. In his senior year, he posted an outstanding .486 batting average with 12 home runs and 40 RBIs. He was the winning pitcher in both the state semifinal and state championship games. He was also recognized as a first-team All-State selection, U.S. Baseball Federation State Player of the Year, Gatorade State Player of the Year, and the West Virginia Sports Writers Player of the Year. Mr. Lowry continued his baseball journey at the University of Minnesota, where he pitched from 1989 to 1992. His collegiate career included 77 appearances on the mound, 26 wins, 276 innings pitched, and 192 strikeouts. He was a key contributor to the Gophers' 1992 Big Ten Championship and NCAA regional appearance. During the summers, Lowry also excelled with the Winchester Royals of the Valley League and the Wareham Gatemen of the Cape Cod League, gaining valuable experience in these highly competitive collegiate summer leagues. After his impressive college career, Mr. Lowry was assigned by the San Francisco Giants organization and played for the Clinton Giants in the Midwest League. He pitched over 30 innings and made 20 appearances for the Giants Farm Club in 1992. After the 1992 season, he soon transitioned to coaching, sharing his vast knowledge and experience to help players reach their potential. Mr. Lowry's coaching career has been nothing short of extraordinary. He began at Normandale Community College in 1993 and later joined the Minneapolis Loons in 1994, before moving on to coaching at Ohio University in the fall of '94 and Ball State in the spring of '95. As the Ball State pitching coach from '95 to 2002, he developed 14 pitchers who would be selected in the Major League Baseball draft. He furthered his coaching at the University of Michigan from 2003 to 2004 before coming back home. John returned back to the Mountain State, where he served as a high school coach from 2005 to 2012 and won an 2009 AAA state championship. Beyond his athletic and coaching accomplishments, Mr. Lowry has made a profound impact on his community. He currently teaches at JHS and remains an active mentor for youth baseball. His commitment to player development is widely respected, and he has mentored countless athletes, instilling in them both baseball skills and life values such as teamwork and sportsmanship. John Lowry Jr.'s induction into the JHS Athletic Hall of Fame is a testament to his dedication, passion, and pursuit of excellence. His extraordinary contributions to baseball on and off the field have left an enduring legacy. We are proud to include him in the Athletic Hall of Fame class at JHS for 2025. John Lowry Jr. Please welcome athlete Jeff Reynolds. Mr. Reynolds, a 1978 graduate of JHS, stands as one of the school's most distinguished athletes and a cornerstone of Cougar baseball. During his time at JHS, Reynolds was instrumental in elevating the Cougar baseball program. He helped propel the team to consecutive state tournament appearances in '77 and '78. Known for his dynamic presence at the plate, Reynolds batted an impressive .407 as a senior and finished with 18 career home runs. His 1978 campaign culminated in second-team All-State honors. Reynolds continued his baseball journey at Potomac State College from '79 to '80, where he became a standout performer. Over his collegiate career, he earned All-Region 20 accolades, including first-team All-Region and Region 20 Tournament MVP in 1980. His contributions to the program's strong competitive record solidified his legacy among Potomac State's top players. His impact and success led to his eventual induction into the Potomac State College Hall of Fame in 2002. Between college seasons, Reynolds showcased his talents in the prestigious Valley Baseball League, suiting up for the Winchester Royals. He played a pivotal role in the team's success, helping the Royals capture the league championship in the summer of '79 and distinguished himself as one of the league's premier hitters and leading the league in home runs and RBIs. In 1980, Reynolds' dream of a professional baseball career became reality when he was selected in the Major League Baseball draft by the New York Yankees. He was the first JHS graduate to earn such an honor. To honor that achievement, JHS Baseball retired his number 14. From 1980 to 1989, Reynolds played in the minor leagues. His professional journey featured stints with several organizations to include the Yankees, Blue Jays, Expos, Tigers, and Reds. During this time, he won numerous accolades and awards, including the 1981 South Atlantic League MVP and was named a 1986 Southern League All-Star. Jeff Reynolds' story is one of talent, tenacity, and trailblazing excellence. From his early days at JHS through the collegiate ranks into the peaks of professional baseball, his Hall of Fame induction is a celebration of that journey. We are proud to include him in the Athletic Hall of Fame at JHS. Jeff Reynolds. Please welcome Coach Bob Rizzo. Coach Rizzo graduated from Concord College with a degree in secondary education with a concentration in social studies and obtained a master's degree from Western Maryland College. In 1964, he was recruited to Harpers Ferry High School to teach and coach varsity basketball and varsity baseball, which is where it all began. When the high schools in Jefferson County consolidated into JHS in 1972, Coach Rizzo continued his career as a world cultures and geography teacher and the varsity boys basketball coach. Under his leadership, the team of 1972 went 22-2 with sectional and regional wins to advance the team to the state tournament. The 1973 team followed this new tradition with a record of 17-5 and earned another spot in the state tournament. Over the years, Coach Rizzo continued to spread his athletic knowledge as the boys basketball coach from 1972 and 73, JV football coach from 72 to 88, JV baseball coach for several years, assistant track coach for almost 20 years, and cross-country coach for over 10 years. In addition, he also coached football and boys basketball at Shepherdstown Junior High. In his later years of coaching, track and cross-country became the focus. Coach was an avid runner who wanted to instill the lifelong passion of running. He grew the cross-country program and led the team to state meets. He modernized the program, establishing the home course at San Michael's Park. Coach Rizzo's relentless dedication did not go unnoticed as he was named the West Virginia Cross-Country Coach of the Year in 1999. Coach Rizzo retired from teaching in 2000. The proof of his impact in and out of the classroom was evident, but even more so when the senior class dedicated the senior scrapbook to him. Although he retired from teaching, he remained as the head cross-country coach until he retired from coaching in 2005. Coach Rizzo was also dedicated to transforming athletics in West Virginia as a whole. He was instrumental in forming the West Virginia High School Athletic Coaches Association and served as regional president for several years. He was also a member of the International Association of Approved Basketball Officials and served as a basketball official. Coach Bob Rizzo's dedication to his students, athletes, and community is unrivaled. We are proud to include him in the Athletic Hall of Fame at JHS. Bob Rizzo. Please welcome Coach Cheryl Roberts. Cheryl Roberts graduated from JHS in 1976. During her time as a Cougar, Ms. Roberts earned varsity letters all 3 years in basketball, softball, and band. Upon graduation from JHS, she attended Fairmont briefly before transferring to Shepherd College, graduating in 1980. While at Shepherd, she was a three-sport star, competing in basketball, softball, and tennis. In 1981, Ms. Roberts became the first female to coach an NCAA men's basketball team. As an assistant at the University of the District of Columbia, she helped lead the Firebirds to the NCAA Division II National Championship. Ms. Roberts was featured in a New York Times article about closing the gender gap in sports and appeared twice on Good Morning America. In 1995, Coach Roberts returned home to Jefferson County to take the head girls basketball coach position at JHS. Over her 10-year coaching career at JHS, Coach Roberts amassed a record of 130 wins and 83 losses. In 2002, she led the Cougars to the AAA Region II Championship in the school's first appearance at the WVSSAC State Tournament. For her efforts, she was named the WHAG TV 25 West Virginia Coach of the Year and the Journal Coach of the Year. Ms. Roberts continues to be an active member of the Jefferson County community. She has been a member of the Shepherdstown Town Council since 2016 and a Shepherd University Athletic Club board member since 2018. She is actively involved with the Delta Sigma Theta sorority, Shepherdstown Lions Club, Community Club, Shepherdstown Shares, Shepherdstown Volunteer Fire Department, and Asbury Church. Ms. Roberts is a member of the Shepherd University Athletic Hall of Fame, class of 2015. In 2012, she was a member of the inaugural Hall of Fame class at the University of the District of Columbia, and in 2022, she was named the Shepherd University Outstanding Alumni of the Year. Coach Roberts' impact on her student athletes is her biggest accomplishment. One of her former players wrote, "Coach Roberts didn't just teach us how to play basketball, she taught us how to navigate challenges, how to lead, and how to contribute positively to a community." Cheryl Roberts embodies all the qualities of a JHS Athletic Hall of Fame member, and we are proud to include her in the class of 2025. Cheryl Roberts. Thank you all for being with us tonight. Inductees, family members, coaches, alumni, faculty, staff, fans, and students, to celebrate the excellence that marks this school in its over 50-year history. Be sure to check the JHS Athletic website for requirements and how to nominate those deserving to be in the next Jefferson High School Athletic Hall of Fame, class of 2026. Please stand if you can and congratulate the Jefferson High School Athletic Hall of Fame, class of 2025. It is always a great day to be a Cougar, and tonight is an especially great night. There is only one thing left to say. Let's go, Cougars!
Hey, I'm Jeremiah. And I'm Brady, and we are Brothers Bin Blasting, your bin blasting all-stars. A unique sanitizing service begins right after your local trash collection. With a scheduled pickup time and location, we arrive promptly to clean your bins on the spot. Our advanced 360-degree cleaning heads and pressurized water heated to over 200 degrees ensures a powerful blast blasting away 99% of all germs and bacteria. Visit our website at brosbinblasting.com and use code GETBLASTED to receive 50% off your first cleaning.
The Eastern Panhandle is home to teachers and healthcare workers, farmers and fishermen, servicemen and women, golfers, bicyclists, and people who love the outdoors. Where we call home isn't any one thing, so we're not either. At Rosedale Funeral Home and Cemetery, we are honored to help you plan a celebration of life that reflects one's individuality. Our trusted local team is here to see that your wishes are honored and that your special story is told.
And good evening, folks, and welcome to Home Team Sports TV. Tonight, we are back here at Cougar Stadium, where the Jefferson Cougars are set to take on the visiting Loudoun County Captains. I'm one of your hosts, J.D. Fritz, and joining me once again, the other half of the Dream Team on Home Team, my broadcast colleague, Drew Pitzer. Drew, how you doing, man?
Man, it's a beautiful evening for some football tonight, JD. You know, the Cougars are facing another massive test from an undefeated team. 2 back-to-back weeks where they playing guys that have not lost a game yet. Coming off 2 straight wins, a huge win last week. We'll see what happens tonight, JD.
Yeah, man, they play a tough Loudoun County team tonight, but the Jefferson Cougars coming off 2 big back-to-back wins, trying to make it 3 wins in a row here tonight. They come in at 2-4 ranked. Number 11 in the SSAC here in West Virginia. You know, we saw last week, Drew, they put on a heck of a performance, although they did lose Tony Allen there in the second half. And so we're not sure what his status is going to be for tonight. So that's yet to be determined. Saw him out there trying to give it a go, warm up a little bit, but so far we don't know. But we're going to take a quick break and go down to the field for our national anthem. All right, guys, we're back up here in the booth. J.D. Fritz along with Drew Pitzer. And, Drew, let's get right into our keys to the game for tonight. And I'll let you start with Loudoun County.
Yeah, again, you got to get the ball in Montez Dyson's hand early and often. He's coming off a game last week where he had 41 carries for almost 240 yards. An incredible performer, probably one of the best backs that Jefferson is going to play all season. So they got to make sure they run the ball early and often. Also, Jake Miller, the quarterback, he only had 7 attempts last week, was 5 for 7. Has a quick delivery, makes quick decisions. He has 14 touchdowns this season, only 3 interceptions. So, again, he's doing extremely well, smart with the ball. This Loudoun County team is 7-0. They're extremely smart. They don't commit a lot of penalties and not a lot of turnovers. So if they keep that same formula, I think they'll be just fine against Jefferson tonight, JD.
Yeah, and for Jefferson, kind of the same thing. But they're going to have to stop Montez Dyson. We all see he's got nearly 1,200 yards and 14 touchdowns on the season, so he's going to be their guy. They don't particularly throw the ball a lot, although Jake Miller can throw the ball. He's got over 800 yards and 14 touchdowns through the air tonight or this year. So look for them to maybe throw some here against the Cougars. We will wait and see, but they definitely want to get the ball in the hands of their number one guy, and that is Dyson, like you mentioned. Jefferson, we've kind of seen them have a little bit of trouble with penalties over the last several weeks, so they've tried to clean that up a little bit. Last week it didn't play as much of a factor. They were able to jump out to an early lead against George Washington, hang on to that lead as we saw towards the end of the game, and stop them on a 2-point conversion, which would have lost them the game had GW been able to convert that. So again, cut down on the penalties, try to be stout up front. They're going to have to, that defensive line is going to have to play solid tonight and not get pushed off the ball. We always talk about the games won in the trenches, and I think that's going to come down to that a lot tonight, Drew.
I completely agree. And Jefferson's been bit by the injury bug quite often this season. We just saw last week that Ryan went down for the season. Tony Allen has a high ankle sprain, which is typically a 2 to 3 week recovery period, and he's going to give it a go tonight. So we'll know by the first series where he is at mentally and physically, because, again, that's a tough injury to come right back off of. I know Jefferson is on a 2-game winning streak right now. They're trying to keep it going. They're playing their best football of the season. But I think you still got to protect your players from themselves, because Tony, he wants to get out there and play, but he might not be at 100% tonight, but could be a good decoy option for that Jefferson offense who's really starting to find their stride, JD.
Yeah, and I agree with you, Drew, and that'll take us right in to players to watch for tonight. So I'll let you start with Jefferson, since you did Loudoun County's keys to the game. Who do you got players to watch for tonight for Jefferson?
Yeah, I got Trayvon Ledbetter. I think he's really got so much improvement from week 1 to now in the ability to run the football and give Jefferson another opportunity to use their playmakers. Again, Tony Allen's who we usually typically watch for, but I think he's going to get a lot of the touches of the carries. And Jackson Rockwell, we'll see how he does against this defense that flies around. They force a lot of turnovers. Again, I think they have 7 or 8 turnovers in 7 games, so they're averaging about a turnover a game. And this Jefferson offense, we've seen, they've been careless with the ball at times, and they commit a lot of penalties. But if they can clean that up, I think they'll give them a chance to compete tonight, because I do see Loudoun County is the more talented team. They're the bigger team. They're faster, but this Jefferson team is really finding their stride. I would not be surprised to see Jefferson come in here and pull off this upset tonight.
Yeah, and I agree. That was really good, Drew. And as far as on the Loudoun County side, like we talked about him before, I think the man to watch for tonight for Loudoun County is going to be Montez Dyson. And if Jefferson cannot stop him, he's got a quick burst, smaller guy in stature, but definitely plays much bigger, has a big heart. We've seen him on film a lot this week, and he's just very impressive back, very quick, very explosive, and he's averaging nearly 8 yards a carry. That's crazy, here in high school. So 8 yards a carry, and a couple other guys to look for when they do throw the ball. Jake Miller's a good quarterback, solid in the pocket, and he's going to look for guys like Luke Morrison and Patterson as well. So they've put up good numbers. Each of those guys have four touchdowns apiece. So when they do have to throw it in the air, they definitely can go and make plays for Miller at that quarterback position. But again, Dyson's going to be the man tonight, I think, Drew, to watch for the Captains.
Yeah, again, you see the way that Loudoun County plays, and they're going to run the football 9 out of 10 times, because they really are that special at that running back position. But again, Jake Miller is more than capable of coming in here and dicing up this Cougars defense. We've seen them at times too, where the secondary would just get shredded when they played against Morgantown, and Spring Mills at times, really put a hurting on them in the second layer of their defense. So they can't not just sell out on the run, but you really have to be cautious, because most of the time, Loudoun County, they're going to run the football, and they're going to play smash mouth football from the opening kickoff until the end of the game.
Yeah, and they've got a lineman that's, being heavily recruited by some D1 schools as well. So definitely not going to be an easy task here tonight with or without Tony Allen. It's definitely going to be an uphill battle for the Cougars. So we'll look to see if the Cougars can make it 3 in a row here at Cougar Stadium as Jefferson comes running on to the field. The captains are set to walk out for the coin toss. Captains for tonight's game for Jefferson is going to be 64, Kip Waldeck. Number 2, Tony Allen. Number 66, that is Silas Pete. And I'm looking for the number over there, Drew. I think that is Leland Benner, number 30.
Yes, sir. That is Leland Benner. He's been the captain here for, I think, all 4 or 5 weeks that they've been at home this season. So, again, they really trust him. It's nice to see Tony Allen out there suited up. We know during the week he was questionable, going to be a game time decision. So I think, again, we're going to see what he has to offer from the very first possession. But I do think having him dressed and at least giving that threat that he might be able to do something, even though we know he's probably about 60 to 70%, JD.
Right. Yeah, and captains for the captains is number 1, Montez Dyson. Number 11, that's Jeremiah Davis Jr. Also, number 6, Reed Bianchini, if I pronounced that correctly. And also, the left tackle, number 77, Carter Scruggs. So we'll wait and see. We're going to go down on the field for the coin toss right now.
So Jefferson won, decided to defer.
Harry, let us know when we're back up here. And we're back up here in the booth, guys. We apologize. So Jefferson won the toss, deferred to the second half. So the Loudoun County captains will receive the football to start this game.
Interesting strategy here. I do like it. After half, you'll be able to get the ball back and try to create some momentum in the second half. But right now, I think to establish who you are offensively and get yourself out there, I think I would have tried to take the ball first. But, again, we'll see what happens. It's going to be interesting. Jefferson coming off 2 straight wins. Loudoun County hasn't lost a game all season. So the last 2 weeks, the combined record from GW and Loudoun County is 13-1. We'll see Jefferson can unseat another undefeated team here tonight, JD.
So kicking off for the Cougars. I am looking see who that's going to be. I believe it's we haven't seen the kicker running out yet, but
I believe it's number 33.
Yeah, Rocco Marty. Mm-hmm. Yeah. Mm-hmm. Antonio Rocco Marty will be kicking off for the Cougars. Back deep for the captains is number 1, Montez Dyson. So we'll see what kind of an impact he makes here right away. Also have number 4 back there, David Pietrick.
I believe that's how you say that.
Petrizak, maybe.
Petrizak, I believe that's how. Yep,
go with that. And we are underway here at Cougar Stadium, and Montez Dyson will take it about the 12-yard line, cuts to the near side. There's Dyson, runs into, looked like he almost ran to his own man, but I believe that was Jefferson coming up and making that smack right there. Leland Benner coming up and making a big hit right away.
Yeah, way to set the tone right there from Leland Benner. Again, it looked like he was going to pop free, and Benner made a great open field tackle right there. First down, Loudoun County at about the 33-yard line.
We got 2 receivers to the far side of the formation. Number 8, Luke Morrison. In the backfield, in the gun, Jake Miller. Dyson to his right. Handoff goes to Dyson. Straight up the middle, trying to pick his way close to the 40-yard line. They're going to mark him Yeah, they'll give him forward progress right there at the 40. Good gain of 7 on the play, Drew, for Dyson already.
Yeah, you see that he's just so quick and shifty right there. He made about 2 or 3 jump cuts, still got about 7 or 8 yards right there, and that is his average on the season so far. Again, this guy's a tremendous player. He's just getting started.
Single receiver to the far side there. It's Jackson Patterson. Morrison here to the near side. A little shift there now for the captains as tight end number 11, Jeremiah Davis. Handoff goes to Dyson. Again, he finds a little hole up in the middle, close to the 50, right at the 49-yard line, but that's going to be enough for a captain's first down as once again a good run there by Dyson up the middle.
Yeah, again, he's running right between the tackles, and he has that Ashton Genty stance, that Michael Myers straight up and down. He doesn't typically get in the typical running back stance. That is something new that has came along from the college football landscape. I love it, and he's obviously good enough to be able to make that work.
And Jefferson is going to have to find something to kind of clog that middle. Linebackers are going to have to fill a little bit, or they're going to keep running that ball right up the gut all night long. Man in motion. That's Jackson. Handoff once again, picking his way, dancing, spins, tackled there at the 45 of the Cougars, but another good 6-yard gain on first down.
Yeah, again, Trayvon Ledbetter in there on the tackle. But interior-wise, the defensive linemen really have to win at the line of scrimmage. And the loss of Ryan Went last week with him playing at the Mike linebacker the last 2 weeks can really be felt right now with his quarterback instincts. Again, they're going to have to find somebody who can make up and fill that gap.
A little hard count got the Cougars to jump, but we're going to wait and see if it was the Cougars jumped first or if it was a lineman for – no, they did. Encroachment on the Cougars. That's going to be an automatic first down, and we see that week in and week out. These teams watch enough film on the Cougars, know they're not always the most disciplined there on that front defensive line, and when you need a hard count, usually that gets the Cougars to jump.
Yeah, when we talked about this Loudoun County's high-level football IQ, again, they watch a lot of film. They can see, hey, the weakness of this Cougars defense is between the tackles. Again, traditionally, Montez Dyson, he wants to get outside the numbers and try to create something out wide. But, again, they see we can attack him between the hash marks. That's a great, offensive game plan to start this game, JD.
Yeah, I mean, if you can get an easy first down that moves the chains, you'll take that all day long. So, again, Miller in the gun. Dyson to the left. Morrison, the receiver, here to the near side. Handoff goes to Dyson. Straight off tackle again. Another solid gain. They're going to give him 6, maybe 7 on the play. But you just see he just hides right there behind his lineman. Not very big, 5'6", maybe 5'7", and he just kind of picks his spots, and the next thing you know, he's 6, 7, 8 yards down the field, Drew.
Yeah, we were speaking about that burst before the game, and he hides right behind his lineman. You kind of lose him in the play sometimes, and then he just pops out of nowhere. Again, averaging 8 yards a carry. He has rushes of 7, 8, and 6 so far in this contest.
So far, we have not seen a pass play there by Loudoun County as we have a new back in the backfield. Handoff goes off tackle. He's bouncing it outside. He's got a lot of room out there coming up to make the tackle. Not yet, but yeah, number 40 there on the play. That's Parker Clary, I believe. So Dyson needing just a little bit of a breather. One play, and he's right back in, but a big gain nonetheless, man. Huge play there by Clary. Picks up another captain's first down.
Yeah, typically, it's Ross Rosen who's their backup, and again, Clary only has 4 carries for the whole season, I believe, so that is a little typical. But, again, you see they bring Dyson right back in. They're going to keep running the football right down their throats, but the minute they see Jefferson step up, don't be surprised to see Jake Miller throw it right over the top.
A little 2-receiver formation here to the right side. There goes Dyson. He's going to bounce it outside. He's trying to find some room there inside the 20. Not a lot there. That's probably the shortest run that he's had, and still managed to pick up about 4 yards.
Yeah, again, he just keeps his feet moving. He uses his line extremely well, finds his spots. Still, that's a good rush right there. 2nd and 6.
So I think they give him maybe only three on the play to bring up 2nd and 7 there. And you got to wonder, though, last night we kind of watched the middle school game. They ran, and they set up a nice bootleg action for their first score. We'll see if the captains have something similar to that up their sleeve as they are now in the red zone. Jake Miller hands it to Dyson. Dyson's going to bounce it outside. You see that burst by Dyson. Picks up another first down inside the 10 at the 8-yard line. And right now, Drew, they are just having their way with this Cougars defense.
Yeah, there's a reason why this team is undefeated. You know, they play in the DMV. They're playing against tough competition week in and week out. They also beat Sharando, some of the common opponents that these two had. So it's obvious to see the skill level is a little bit different. Jefferson's going to have to dig deep. Coach Keller is going to have to come up with a little bit of a different game plan to stop this run.
It'll be first and goal now from the 9 for the Captains. There's two receivers here to the near side. That's Morrison and Patterson. But again, the handoff goes to Dyson right up the middle. He's thrown forward down about the 3-yard line. So another good run by Dyson. I think that's probably at least 6 or 7 carries here on this first series now for Dyson.
Yeah, again, the Captains have run the ball on all 7 plays of this series. You see Dyson's had 6 of those carries, and they're playing extremely well. Also, 5 minutes off this clock. But Coach Keller has always said he's a bend-don't-break type of guy, so we'll see how they defend down here with 2 yards to go to the goal.
So Miller in the gun again. Dyson to his right. The handoff, well, there's going to be an early whistle. There's some movement on that line. That will help the Cougars defense out, as Loudoun County now will be backed up 5 yards.
Yeah, and that's number 73, Harrison Webb. He's kind of got away with one earlier where they got Jefferson on the jump. He also flinched a little bit. That time he moved just a second too early. The officials called it. Now to make it about 2nd and 7 with 7 yards to go to the goal line.
The Cougars are going to have to find something on defense to stop this ground game. And they knew it was coming. They knew Dyson was their guy. They knew they were going to feed him a lot. You know, he's averaging probably 30-plus carries a game. So, you know, that's what they want to do. They want to keep it on the ground and pound. 2 receivers to each side. The handoff going to go to Dyson again, straight up the middle, and he's in for the Captain's touchdown to take an early 6-0 lead.
Yeah, again, that's just a great – they're not calling anything crazy. They ran almost the same set. They're going right between the B and the C gap every single play. Again, that was just great play design. They read this defense, scouted Jefferson extremely well. 6-0 pinning an extra point from Loudoun County.
Yeah, you got to give that offensive line a lot of credit. Dyson, like we said, he just picks his way, hides behind those big boys up front, and they're doing a good job of moving that defensive line out of the Cougars and giving him those opportunities for big yards.
Yeah, there's a reason why Carter Scruggs is getting heavily recruited. I mean, he was just winning at the line of scrimmage every single play right there. That was just beautiful offense to watch if you love smash mouth football.
Another hard count, and that's going to move the ball up. So we're going to see if they move it half the distance. If they will elect to go for 2, I don't think it looks like they're going to change any personnel right now. So it looks like they're going to just be –
they're declining it.
Yeah, they're going to contend, just kick the extra point, which I am surprised because you put 2 points up. That's a lot different than just one. That could be a big difference later in this game.
Yeah, if I have Montez Dyson, I'm giving him the ball again. If I have a yard to go, I'm punching it in with him. Again, 8-0 is better than 7-0.
So number 8, Luke Morrison, starting receiver, is also the starting kicker, and he kicks it up, and he's got a heck of a leg, and it is good. So with 6:46 left to go here in this first quarter, the Captains take a lead 7-0 over the Jefferson Cougars, and we'll take our first commercial break and hear a word from our sponsors. You're watching Home Team Sports TV.
Fence and deck, where elegance meets function. Serving Martinsburg and surrounding areas for over 30 years, our expertly crafted decks and fences offer both beauty and protection. From classic woodwork to modern vinyl, experience the craftsmanship that truly elevates your space.
Hey guys, I'm Kyle.
We're back here at Cougar Stadium. J.D. Fritz joined by Drew Pitzer. Captains put the first score on the board as they made that really look relatively easy. Drew, they put a nice little 10-12 play drive together, ran the ball every single time, did not see a run that whole first drive for Loudoun County. So kind of sticking with the game plan there is what I think they want to do.
Yeah, again, you saw he had 41 touches last week, so they're going to ground and pound until they see Jefferson sneak up a little bit, have no safety coverage right there, and then they're going to pop it right over the top. Quarterback Jake Miller is more capable to make those type of plays, so Jefferson really has their hands full with trying to stop this ground and pound attack tonight, JD.
So they are going to save Tony at least on the kickoff as Lasdil Machado, number 3, And Jaheim Gidney, number 6, back deep. Great kick here by Morrison, and it's going to go into the end zone, and that'll be coming out to the 20, and that's where the Cougars will take over and start their first possession here of the game.
Yeah, for sure. And we'll go ahead and start our first out-of-town score report. AAA action. Bridgeport is currently up 14-7 against Reston. Morgantown's up 24-0 against Parkersburg South. We also see Martinsburg up 28-0. That's in the second quarter against Washington. University's up 7-0. That's also in the second quarter. And then Hedgesville High School, Musselman's currently up 7-0. That is still in the first. JD?
Thank you, Drew. And we'll be coming back for more updates here later in the game, as we got 2 receivers to the near side. And it looks like it's going to be Bray Holmes tonight, starting at quarterback, number 19. Man in motion is Benner. Ledbetter to his left. The handoff goes to Ledbetter. He's got a burst. There goes Ledbetter out over the 25 to the 26. So a nice little gain for Trayvon Ledbetter there on first down.
Yeah, again, he was my player to watch for coming into tonight. You've just seen the constant improvement from week 1 to now week 8. He's just been playing extremely well, steadying that ground attack for the Jefferson Cougars. Great gain right there. 5 yards, makes it 2nd and 5. Jefferson has to stay ahead of the sticks to be able to compete in this game.
Yeah, you're right. They pretty much need to answer back, and let's do the same thing as what the captains did. You drive down the field and put some points on the board. As Benner goes in motion, low snap there, handled well by Holmes. Trayvon Ledbetter looking for some running room, picks up close to the first down. They see where they mark him. They're marking him just a little short of the 30, but they're going to give him first down anyway, Drew.
Yeah, again, that was a great second effort there by Ledbetter. He got hit at the line, still kept his feet moving. Again, first down, Jefferson. I told you, that ground attack has improved so much from week 1 to now.
Yeah, we did see a little bit of a low snap there, so hopefully that's not going to be a problem for the Cougars, as we have seen a little bit of inconsistency with some of the snaps this season. So 2 receivers to hit the near side. Single receiver to the far side. Another low snap. Holmes does a good job again, but just that little bend down and pick it up allows that defense just another split second to penetrate in the backfield. And that time, Ledbetter picked up 0 on the play there, and actually he's going to lose a yard.
Yeah, he lost a yard right there, and that's 3 consecutive snaps. That has not been terrific. Again, you want to get that right into the quarterback's hands. Great adjustment there from Bray Holmes. You know, again, we don't see Jackson Rockwell out there right now. He is dressed, so hopefully he will be able to come back into action. And I don't see, is Tony Allen on the other side of the field?
No, he's standing right there. Right now, Tony's out. Tony is out, so I believe we might see him sparingly if needed on an as-needed basis. We know he rolled his ankle last week, so keep an eye on that. So 3 receivers to the far side of the formation. Holmes is back to throw, looking for a man. He's going to have to step up in the pocket. There goes Bray. Not a bad gain there on second down by Holmes out near the 35-yard line. They mark him at the 34. Going to bring up 2nd and we'll call it 6 for the Cougars.
That'd be 3rd and 6.
3rd and 6, excuse me.
Yeah, 3rd and 6 right here, and that was a great progression there from Braylon Holmes. Again, he saw his first read, second read, third read. The middle of the field opened up. Way to get about some of those yardage back and make this more of a manageable 3rd down conversion right here.
Well, they got a little bit of a confusion. You got the down markers showing 2nd. Yeah, it is 2nd. 2nd down is what the scoreboard – now they're switching it to 3rd, So Holmes back to throw, looking for somebody. He's under a lot of pressure. Holmes has got to take it and run it again. Lowers his shoulder pad. Bray Holmes looks like he's got enough for the first down as he's out to about the 42-yard line. So nice run there by Braylon Holmes as he has enough for the Cougar first down, Drew.
Yeah, again, he reminds me a lot of Caleb Williams and his ability to use his feet. Again, he's more of a pocket passer. He wants to deliver back there, but he's more than capable to tuck it and run. To go from a 2nd and 11 to a first down, it gives him a lot of options, and it could possibly be able to move Jackson Rockwell back out the receiver. I think that would make this Jefferson Cougars offense a lot more dangerous.
Yeah, and I'm with you on that. And I like Bray Holmes because he's going to always fall forward. He's much heavier than Jackson, and he's able to kind of push that pile a little bit. So 2 receivers to each side. Ricardo Lewis here split out wide. Carson Oler King in the slot.
Clock's down to 4. They better snap it.
Oler King with motion. They pitch it to Oler King. He finds a little hole right off tackle there. A nice little gain out to about the 47-yard line goes Carson Oler King. So Jefferson looking fairly good. No big big plays, but they're just doing enough to move the chains 5-6 yards a pop, and that's really all you can ask for, Drew.
Yeah, and this Loudoun County defense is extremely fundamentally sound. You see they're great tacklers too. They're not missing any of those opportunities. So Jefferson just going to have to be slow and methodical. We're going to have to move the ball, take some time off the clock, and again, that's only going to help them if they can win the possession time as well.
So 2nd and about 5 for the Cougars. 2 receivers to the near side of the formation as Lewis split out wide. Handoff goes to Ledbetter. There goes Ledbetter straight up the middle. He spins his way inside the 40. They're going to mark him down at the 39-yard line. So there was a good run straight up the middle. Wide open too, Drew.
Yeah, again, this is a great game plan to start off the game for Jefferson by Coach Hunter. He's also realizing, hey, inside the tackles for this Loudoun County team is somewhere where you can attack. They're a little bit undersized in the interior line other than Carter Scruggs. So, again, I would keep using that ground game, but you also have that ability to put the ball through the air with Braylon Holmes' arm.
Yeah, and credit that line. They opened up a huge hole, and when Ledbetter saw it, he stuck his foot in the ground and took off. And there's Bray taking a direct snap. Bray Holmes looking for some running room, picks up about 3 or 4. Well, they're going to give him close to 5 yards on first down. So, and that's the added element that I think Bray Holmes gives you that maybe Rockwell doesn't necessarily give you is he's always going to fall forward, like I mentioned just a few plays ago, and he's able to pick up 4 or 5 yards.
Yeah, and during his last 2-game winning streak, though, Jackson Rockwell has performed really well. The team has made it extremely easy in their system for him to make quick reads and also be able to tuck it and run. But Braylon Holmes, a lifetime quarterback, you can see there's just a little bit of difference in their fundamentals.
Handoff again goes to Ledbetter. He's looking for some room, finds a little bit of room near a first down. I believe they're going to give him forward progress to the 30. That should be another Cougar first down, Drew, and so far they've looked really good moving this football.
Again, they've only had 1 negative play, and they ended up making up for that. So if Jefferson can stay along this path, stay disciplined, don't turn the ball over, again, talent-wise, they might not be as talented as Loudoun County, but they still can definitely compete. You saw what they did last week against a GW team that was undefeated, so we'll see what happens as this game is winding down this first quarter.
Yeah, it's a quick first quarter with everybody. Haven't seen one pass yet. All runs, and that'll eat up the clock quick as 2 receivers to the near side, 1 to the far side. Oler King in motion. They're going to jet sweep, fake the jet sweep. Holmes will keep it himself. Not a lot there as the captain's got really good penetration. Only a pickup of about 2 for Bray Holmes.
Yeah, it was just a missed block right there. You saw Scruggs was in there and was able to blow up that play from the beginning. Again, that was one man to beat. If they were able to break that tackle, they would have probably got somewhere, at least got a first down. Great defense right there from Loudoun County, 2nd and 9.
Yeah, Scruggs is a big monster in the middle at 6'6", nearly 300 pounds. So he's a big boy, hard to move in there, Drew.
Yeah, he's got a huge base, too. I mean, he looks fundamentally sound as well. He's obviously highly touted and recruited. We'll see how his impact goes as the rest of this game moves on.
So 2 receivers to the far side. Handoff goes to Ledbetter again. Not a lot there as the captains are starting to really find something on defense. Great pursuit setting that edge. Montez Dyson comes up on the play. So now they've got a 3rd and long here, about 3rd and 10 as Ledbetter lost a yard on the play.
Yeah, I would say that was the last play of the first quarter. So with that being said, ladies and gentlemen, it is 7-0. Loudoun County is currently up at the end of the first quarter. We're going to go to a commercial break. Hear a word from our sponsors. You're watching Home Team Sports TV.
True Performance Fitness, I'm one of the owners here. True Performance Fitness as a whole, we brought this gym to the area and we wanted to bring every walk of fitness in one building. So that's exactly what we did. We have strongman, powerlifting, bodybuilding, CrossFit. We have posing rooms, a full turf, a full track outside. We even have a basketball court. We wanted everything to be under one roof. So that's just kind of the thing that we did. We also went out and we made sure that we got top of the line equipment. We also make sure that all the pads and everything are getting replaced and all the machines are being taken care of properly. That's just something we strive to do for this community. We also like to give back to the community with donations, fundraisers, and other stuff for like kids and the families around. So that's just kind of who we are as a gym, and we're looking forward to seeing you guys.
And we're back here at Home Team Sports TV. J.D. Fritz along with Drew Pitzer. Start of this second quarter. The Cougars have the ball. It's 3rd and 10 from the 30. So we watched the Cougars drive down the field on their first opening possession. Looked really good, and it kind of stalled there the last couple plays now, Drew. So we'll see what they dial up here on a 3rd and 10.
Yeah, this is where not having Tony Allen kind of hurts you right here. You know, that's a big playability to erase a 3rd and 10. But right here, I'm trying to get 4 or 5 yards, make this more of a manageable 4th down. You're not going to get it all back right here, you know, unless, let's say, Ricardo Lewis finds a way to pop open or Ledbetter can get past that first line of defense. But Loudoun County is really starting to focalize on that running game, so Jefferson's going to have to open it up a little bit.
Yeah, and you're right. And this is definitely going to be 4-down territory, I would think, for the Cougars, even if they don't pick up anything on 3rd down. But if they get any positive yards out of this at all, I see a 4th down opportunity coming up. So 2 receivers here to the near side. Takeem Drake closest to us. Bray Holmes back to throw. He's going to have to tuck it and run, and he goes down there. As that pursuit just caught up too quickly. Bray had a right idea, but just couldn't get away from the pressure.
Yeah, Bray just took his eyes off of Drake right there at the very end when he popped open. Was looking at the other side of the field, just going through his progressions. It's just an unfortunate mistake. It happens through football. But, again, right here is a weird spot of the field.
It is.
And so I think you go for it. You know, try to maybe take a shot towards the end zone. But not having Tony Allen right here maybe makes it a lot different. But you see Jackson Rockwell is now checking to the game. So glad to see that he's healthy and available to go, J.D.
Yeah, and you didn't want to take a negative play there, even if you didn't gain anything on 3rd down. It would have been more of a manageable 4th. So now, with a 4th and 15, it's ball on the 35. Holmes back to throw. He's going to have to step up again under a lot of pressure. Holmes going backwards now. He's going to have to get rid of it. He gets rid of it. Complete. Oh, no, that ball falls incomplete there. So the ball will go back over to the Captains at the 35-yard line. So just about 4 plays that just really did not look like that other plays that they had in the drive. Just kind of got all out of sorts there.
Yeah, again, but you saw that you could compete right there. You just moved the ball about 40 yards. You had a lot of good things happen that drive. Now you saw Loudoun County adjusted to what you're playing. Now you got to adjust to their adjustments. Is now 1st down Loudoun County, see if Jefferson changes anything they did from that first possession on defense to try to clog up that running game.
Yeah, and you got to put those 8 guys in the box as much as possible. Man up on defense here on the receivers, as they have 2 receivers to each side. Handoff once again goes to Dyson straight up. Well, it's right off tackle, but he does pick up 4 on 1st down. So they like the middle, but they also like those off tackle plays, and they've been real successful so far tonight, Drew.
Yeah, again, Dyson's getting all the credit, but this offensive line is moving people. I mean, I'm impressed with how well they're so cohesive with each other. The chemistry has obviously been built, so that is impressive to see how this offensive line's working. You know, Dyson gets all the credit, but the big fellas, those are the ones who make it happen.
Yeah, you're right. They definitely need a lot of credit, and they've done a great job so far. As I think Dyson's averaging probably 5 or 6 yards a carry right now. So 2 receivers again here to the near side of the formation. Number 3, Lincoln in motion, though. Handoff again goes to Dyson straight up the gut near 1st down. We're going to be about a yard short to bring up 3rd and 1 for the Captains. And the man, like you said, he just carries the ball almost every time, doesn't seem to get tired, and that doesn't seem to affect him one bit.
Yeah, again, obviously his cardio levels have to be insane. I couldn't imagine touching the ball over 40 times in one game. The ice bats that I would take all week would be about 10 minutes long each. So, again, credit to them. Again, this offensive line is keeping them up front, though. But Jefferson's starting to battle back a little bit. You see they're starting to come back against that pressure. We'll see what goes on in this 3rd and short.
Yeah, and Jefferson's got to know by now what they're going to do, and they are packing it in a little bit more. Miller in the gun. Again, the handoff straight up the middle goes Dyson. He has enough for the 1st down. Flag on the play. That's going to be our first flag of the game, so we'll see if this is possibly a holding. No, it's a personal foul, face mask on the Cougars. That'll tack on another 15, and that's definitely something you just can't do if you're Jefferson.
Yeah, again, that's kind of more of a frustration foul right there. You can't pull on that mask. He obviously yanked it down with the play. Lucky that wasn't an ejection. But, again, Jefferson has to go, next play mentality. You cannot allow them to break you down mentally with this running game. You know they're going to try to run the ball 9 out of 10 times. You got to put a conceded effort in to stop it.
You can't give them 15 yards, that's for sure. Penalties will kill you. And, so far the Captains haven't had any problem moving the ball on their own. You definitely don't want to help them out. So, again, 2 receivers, a single receiver to the near side, each side. That's number 40 in motion there, Parker Clary. Handoff once again. Nothing there as Andy Roberts sneaks through, and that's going to be the first loss of the game now. That was Dominic Gadel, on the carries. He slipped a little bit and allowed Andy to come in and make that tackle. Lost 2 on the play to bring up 2nd and 12, but right back on the field, Montez Dyson. He only needs one play. He only needs one play to catch his breath, and he's right back out there.
Again, he's been out for 2 plays, and both plays didn't really get anything for the captain. So they're going to stick with what works. Their bread and butter. They're going to keep giving him the football and allowing him to do great things.
There are 2 receivers here to the near side, Luke Morrison and Jackson Patterson. Oh, a little fake to Dice. He's going to roll out, throw it back to the tight end on the other side. A great tackle there. Let's see who that is. That's number 15 on the tackle. That's Chaim Alvera. So big loss there. They didn't have him fooled as they threw a little throwback, fake this way, threw it back to the tight end.
And that's studying film on their own right there, because there was nobody behind that second line of defense. That could have very easily been 6 on the board. Great open field tackle right there. A huge opportunity for Jefferson to try to get off the field right here and maybe put some points on their own on the board.
Yeah, they need a big stop here, although Dyson has gained 6-7 yards a carry. You would think they would try to probably go back to something through the air again, as there's 2 receivers here to the near side. Motion man. Number 6, the tight end. Jake Miller's trying to step up in the pocket. He's going to have to run. No, now he overthrows his man there, intended for number 15. We actually don't have.
That's number 45.
45?
That's
I'm sorry. Yep. Yeah, 45. Gadel on the attempt. So just sails a little wide. So great stop there for the Cougars. They really needed that to bring up 4th down. The punting unit now comes on. And again, number 8, Luke Morrison, will punt it away for the captains.
Yeah, he has a leg, but again, this is where Jefferson has really struggled at in the punt return game. Outside of Tony Allen having a couple really good returns, a lot of times they're not fielding, allowing the punting team to push them back all the way in their own territory. I'm being aggressive right now to see if you create anything.
Nice punt, beautiful punt.
Not a chance.
Morrison kicks it out of the back of the end zone. Probably didn't want that. Probably wanted to pin them deep, but I see a future D1 kicker there, the way he's kicked his extra points and stuff. And that punt went, nearly 50 yards. So good stop there on defense by the Cougars. They take over for their second possession here on the 20-yard line. 7:23 left to go here in the second quarter. They would have put a nice drive together. The first series, Drew, just stalled there on a couple plays. And so let's see what they got.
And looks like Jackson Rockwell is back at quarterback for the Cougars. So we'll see what happens with this possession. A little bit of change. Again, another adjustment from Coach Greg Hunter. We'll see how they attack this Loudoun County captain defense.
So Rockwell in the gun. He's going to fake the handoff. He's going to look for somebody to throw to. Thought there was a whistle. Kind of stops there and pauses for a minute. Everybody kind of looked like they kind of paused as Rockwell bounced it outside. Nice gain of about 6 on first down, so I'm not sure what the confusion was there as he looked. I guess he thought he heard a whistle.
Yeah, I thought that was a whistle right there, too. We all thought it was. I mean, there was clearly somebody at least imitated the sound. That's just not good for football. You cannot do that. It's unfortunate. But, again, they at least made something positive out of it. Makes it 2nd and 4.
Yeah, and if somebody has a whistle in the crowd or somewhere, the officials will definitely have to try to recognize that and get a hold of that because – I think even some of the defensive players kind of hesitated a little bit because it looked like they could have had him right there at the line of scrimmage, and they kind of let him go. So 2nd and 6 now for the Cougars. Rockwell in the gun, high snap, and we saw a couple low snaps. Completed there to Drake. No one's behind the defense. It's Drake's down inside the 40s. He's pushed out of bounds there.
What an instinctual play there from Rockwell. He looked like he was about to tuck it, and you saw Keem Drake just do a little pop pattern right there, set right behind the second layer of defense, end up having about a 40-yard game right there. First down, Cougars.
Yeah, they just kind of lost Drake, and he just kind of snuck behind the defense, and no one was back there. And off to the races, and they were able to catch up to Drake and force him out of bounds there. They marked him at the 32-yard line, actually. So nice pickup there for the Cougars, and now they're in business here in the captain's territory. Let's see if they can capitalize on something. As Ledbetter takes the handoff straight up the middle, still driving. I tell you, Ledbetter runs hard. He's got a quick burst in the hole and drives forward for about 3 or 4 yards, Drew.
Yeah, again, he has about 5 carries, about 25 yards, so he's averaging 5 yards a tote as well. That's something they got to stick consistently with. But Loudoun County doing a good job of adjusting. You have to be able to mix it up a little bit if you're Jefferson with running and throwing the football.
Yeah, they actually gave him a gain of 5 on the play, so 2 receivers to the near side. Takeem Drake and Oler King there. His handoff goes to Ledbetter again. It bounces it outside, turns it back up. Ledbetter picks up the first down close to the 15-yard line, and that's where they will mark the ball. So nice gain there of about 17 for Trayvon Ledbetter.
Yeah, again, and Jefferson has to be very careful right there. It looks like they kind of got away with a little hold there out on the edge, but nonetheless, first down, Jefferson.
Going with a little tempo now as the Cougars trying to catch that defense off guard. I think that's a perfect game plan for the Cougars. But then if you're going to go with the little tempo, you can't hold yourself up. Ledbetter again with the bounces it outside. Nothing there as he'll lose a yard. He might have gotten back to the line of scrimmage. But I tell you, you notice in a lot of the games early in the season, Jefferson goes to those plays back-to-back, and it works. But against a team like Loudoun County, you're not going to fool them twice, Drew.
Yeah, again, and I say if you're going to run that again, flip the play and run it to the strong side of the field. What Ledbetter wants to get to the sideline and create. That's just unfortunate 2nd and 10.
So 3 receivers here to the near side of the formation. Rockwell in the gun with Ledbetter to his right. Rockwell is going to be back to throw. He's going to be forced here to the near side, looking for a man. He's going to have to tuck it and running. Turns it up, lowers his shoulder. He's still on his feet inside the 10 at about the 7. So another good gain there by Rockwell, as I don't like the quarterback taking that shot. If you're Holmes, maybe so, but not Rockwell.
Yeah,
kind of worries me a little bit.
Yeah, Rockwell just ducked his shoulder right there. He wanted the contact. He kind of looked like Bo Scatterbo just looking for it. It's 3rd down and 2. Right here is where Jefferson has those struggled most of the year, these 3rd and short situations.
Yeah, they have, and let's see if they can prove us wrong once again as Leland Benner, the blocking back, now comes in for the Cougars. So we'll see in this short yardage situation what they decide to do is Rockwell still in the gun, Ledbetter to the left, 2 receivers to the far side. The handoff goes to Ledbetter right up the middle, and he gets it, falls forward to about the 2, maybe 3-yard line. So that's enough for a Cougar first down. So it's going to be 1st and goal now from the 3, Drew.
Yeah, you're underneath 4 minutes right here. Trying to take a little bit of this clock. You have 4 downs to get 3 yards. Don't be too cautious, but if you can get this clock underneath about 2:30, it really limits what Loudoun County will be able to do.
Yeah, and you see the Cougars going hurry up here. Let's see what they do. They're going to give it to Ledbetter again. He's pushing his way. He's picked up there. Might have gained a yard down to the 1. But what I was going to say is you're seeing the Cougars kind of giving Loudoun County a little taste of their own medicine.
Yeah, again, you see that, but right here for Jefferson, this is what frustrates me the most, is why won't they get underneath center when they're inside the 1-yard line? You're automatically losing some yardage when you're in that shotgun snap, and allows the defense to be able to pretty much contain what they're doing. This is where they've been struggling at, so let's see if they prove us wrong.
Yeah, and I agree with that, Drew, and I think a lot of the crowd agrees with that. We've been hollering about that for weeks. But not this time. It's Rockwell straight up the middle. He's in for the Cougar touchdown. And they're 1 point away from tying this ball game up, Drew.
Yeah, again, that's just terrific second drive. They had a really good first drive. Way to capitalize off of that 4-down turnover. Touchdown, Jackson Rockwell, extra point away from tying this ball game up with 3:14 left to go in this second quarter.
So great drive there. 2 really good first drives. I would say it just stalled there on the first time. But, they drew 80-yard drive to start this second series. Looked really good again. So Rocco Marta on to kick the extra point here. And Benners, it looks some confusion. I don't know if they have the T out there or not. No, they're looking for Bray Holmes runs onto the field. Looks like they were a man short, only had 10 on the field. So they still have time. Snap good, the hold, the kick is up, and it is good. It just does sneak in the left upright. So with 3:14 left to go here in this first quarter, the score 7-7. We're all knotted up. And we're going to take a commercial break and hear a word from our sponsors. You're watching Home Team Sports TV.
General Manager at Ameritech Tire and Auto, here to serve you with all your auto repair and service needs. We are a family-owned business serving our community since 2003. We work on all makes and models from vintage cars and trucks to collectors to today's latest, newest vehicles. So stop in and see us at one of our 2 locations. See you soon.
Good boy. And we are back here at Cougar Stadium. Jefferson tied the game up here at 7. Put a nice, good-looking 80-yard drive together. And, it seems like each team is not able to stop the run. So we'll see who makes these halftime adjustments, and it just seems like both teams are content to run the ball, though Jefferson has attempted to try to throw the ball, and they're doing a great job in the secondary. Loudoun County is, and so far they haven't been able to find a receiver open. So it's just been all run here as Rocca Marty, a little pooch kick up. Going to be taken there. It's fumbled away. He's going to have to fall on it at the 25. That was Reed being Cheney on the fumble there. He muffed that open at kickoff. So,
yeah, JD, I mean, this is interesting. There's still plenty of time. The whole playbook is still open with over 3 minutes left to go. But also, Jefferson gets the ball first coming out at halftime. If they're able to hold Loudoun County to not score right here and maybe even force a turnover or something like that, could really allow Jefferson to gain some momentum.
Yeah, they definitely need that playing here at home. So it'll be 1st and 10 from the 25-yard line for the Captains. 3:12 left to go here in the half. So a little trips there to the far side of the field for the Captains. A little high snap. Running the ball there is number 40 again. I believe Andy Roberts in there on the stop. Parker Clary once again. And so far, you've seen the difference. They've had 2 other guys try to run the football. And when it's not Montez Dyson, they just are not the same football team.
No, they're really not. And again, that's if you're able to win that first down against a team that wants to run the ball so much, completely changes their identity, allows Jefferson to gain a lot of momentum.
Yeah, and that little high snap we saw there kind of threw them off as well. There's 3 receivers still to the far side of the formation. Jake Miller back to throw. Don't see it often. Throws it to the far side, looking for the out there. That was number 45 there. Dominic Goodell. So 3rd and 10 in a hurry, Drew. And clock is stopped with 2:32, so that worked out perfect for the Cougars, as now with it being 3rd and 10, they're going to have to throw the ball again.
Yeah, and, we'll see what happens. You have 3 timeouts right here. If you get a stop and it's 4th and 5 or more, I'm saying you use that timeout to conserve as much clock as possible.
Yeah, I agree. You don't want to let it run down. If possible, not inside of 2 minutes. You want to run this 2-minute drills. Montez Dyson is back in the game now. 2 receivers to each side and a little bunch formation for the Captains. Miller back to throw. He's looking for a man. He's going to have to step up. Chucks it down the field. He's got his man wide open. He had 2 or 3 steps on the defender, which was Oler King. Couldn't complete the pass to Jackson Patterson. And that brings up 4th down, Drew, and the Cougars are going to get the ball back.
Yeah, not even have to use a timeout, but that was such a great route there by Patterson. He really got the defender to bite Oler King on that out and up pattern. Again, if that was just a little bit underthrown and he maybe even attempted to dive for that, could have been a 1st down, but with 2:25 left to go, Jefferson has another opportunity to put more points on the board.
Yeah, and you wonder, that looking at the stats, Miller's only thrown the ball a total of 78 times on the season for 807 yards. He does have 14 touchdowns to 3 interceptions, so not throwing the ball a whole lot. You start to come, a little low snap, but kind of a decent kick. Takeem Drake's just going to get away from it, and they downed it right there at the 33-yard line. That's where the Cougars will take over with 2:18 left here to go in this first half. They're in good position to put some more points on the board here, Drew.
Yeah, you have 3 timeouts. You have the whole playbook open right here. Once it gets about within 90 seconds or so, then you really have to speed up the pace. But the pace at which Jefferson played at in that last possession was where they really looked their best. So, again, plenty of time. We'll see what happens right here, JD.
Yeah, and I think maybe that threw the defense of the Captains off a little bit. They started off the first couple series with Bray Holmes, and now you bring in a little quicker maybe player is Rockwell. He moves around the pocket a little bit better, so maybe they weren't prepared for that, and so they've had to make some adjustments. So we'll see how they do here against this Cougars offense. There's 2 receivers to each side. Rockwell going to throw it out here in the flat. He's got his receiver Ledbetter. A small gain there, maybe not even one on the play as Ledbetter makes the catch but falls down. The time, well, they didn't even start the clock, I don't believe. Unless the Cougars called a time. I don't know why you would. I don't think they called a timeout. So
yeah, no time ran off the clock at all. So really, that's a win for Loudoun County because they still have 3 timeouts too. If they're able to get Jefferson off the field, they might have another opportunity to put more points on the board.
Well, and they still haven't started the clock yet. They're trying to tell them to wind the clock. They do now. So Benner in motion, 2 receivers to the far side. The handoff goes to Ledbetter. He's going to try to bounce it outside again, and there goes Ledbetter. Breaks the tackle, turns it back up, and he gains almost enough for a first down. They're going to give him about 7 or 8 on the play. Kind of dangerous. We see Ledbetter trying to go outside, and I just think that's not going to work as much against this quicker defense of the Captains.
Yeah, again, but you see Ledbetter does have an insane burst. He's still extremely fast, but again, right then and there, you want to get north and south, running east and west. It's just going to take a lot of time off the clock.
So 3rd and a yard now for the Cougars. Definitely need to pick up this first down, and that's not going to help as Oler King left a little bit early. It's going to back him up 5, be 3rd and 6.
Yeah, that's a bad penalty right there with 1:37 left to go. It makes it 3rd and 6. Now, again, it doesn't have the running game still there if you want to maybe take a chance at a 4th and 1, but having an opportunity for 1 play or 2 plays to get 1 yard, just difficult opportunity, just lost for the Cougars.
Yeah, excuse me. I hated to blame Oler King. That was actually Tykeem Drake that left a little bit early, but 1:25 left to go on a 3rd and 6. Rockwell in the gun. Is he going to hand it? No, he throws the slant. Oh, and in and out of the hands of Tykeem Drake. He had the play and had some room to run, Drew, but couldn't make the catch.
Yeah, and Tykeem Drake is extremely fast. I thought that was going to be a house call. I was looking towards the end zone. Unfortunately, the football just squeaked right through his hands. 1:17 left to go. Loudoun County's going to get one more crack at it.
Wow, missed opportunity there by the Cougars. The play was there. Beautiful ball by Rockwell. And if you're Tykeem Drake, you have to make that catch. That would have been a huge play for the Cougars, but like you said, ball's going to go back over to the Captains with some time left on the clock. We'll see what they can do on offense. Drake's going to have to get off a good punt here. Puts his foot in. Not a good punt. Kicks it towards the left. Takes a good roll.
Oh, my.
Though inside the 20. Going to go out of bounds near the 15-yard line. So not a bad punt when you get the roll included with 1:09 left to go. Loudoun County is going to have to go now
82 yards?
quite a long ways. We'll see where they mark it. We're waiting to see where they mark it.
Wow, 16
about
yards.
84 yards.
That's crazy because the ball touched at I think the 41-yard line. So the roll almost 25 yards. That's a beneficial bounce right there.
Yeah, and it wasn't a particularly good punt as it kind of was end over end, but he did kick it away from the returner, which was good, so he didn't have a chance to come up and really make a play on it. Now we'll see if they choose to throw the ball. We'll see what the Cougars have on defense. Montez Dyson in the backfield with Miller. Single receiver here to the near side is Patterson. They're going to hand it to Dyson. He's looking for room to the outside. Minimal gain there on first down, but still a pickup of probably 7 on the play as we're now inside a minute. So you wonder if they're just going to be content to run the clock. I think they need to try to get down there and get in field goal range. Morrison's got a heck of a leg. If you get in anywhere near the 30, maybe even the 35-yard line, you've got a shot at 3 points.
Yeah, both these teams might go to half not using one single timeout. That's insane to me.
Miller back to throw. He's going to go deep again. He's got his man. Oler King is making the play. Does he pick the pass off? He can't do it. He had a chance off the tip, but the ball falls incomplete, and now we have a 3rd down again for the Captains. So very possible the Cougars could get the ball back once again. I've never seen so many changes of possession possibly in the last, 2 minutes of a football game.
Yeah, right here. If you stop them and there's still 25 seconds, you're taking a timeout right here. I believe. You can't. They don't roll over. You should be able to use them. Jefferson let a lot of time tick off the clock. That last possession Loudoun County had. So right here, if you want to at least take one more crack at it with the offense that you have, at least that's what I would do.
So, again, Miller in the gun there. They're going to hand it to Dyson. He's straight up the middle. He's got enough for the first down. He's tripped up there out near the 30. They're going to take a timeout real quick.
So clock is still though running, JD. So I guess they
didn't take a timeout. I don't know. I'm really surprised they haven't taken a timeout to try to stop the clock.
Wow, I think this has been terrible clock management from both sides.
They're going to get have time just for one more play here, it looks like. And they may not even try to snap the ball.
Wow.
That's just really odd that they would not even try to put any more points on the board. So that's going to do it here for the first half, where we're all tied up at 7 apiece. And we're going to take a commercial break. The band's going to come out and play. We're going to have a halftime show. We'll be right back after a word from our sponsors. You're watching Home Team Sports TV.
Yeah, and we're really similar right there. I think Hedgesville's going to battle. I do think they have improved, but I think Musselman, they're going to they're going to take a lot of time off the clock, so they're not going to put up as many points as a lot of these teams have. But I have Musselman winning 42-7. I think they're just going to be too dominant in the ground game, which Hedgesville's really struggled at stopping this year. Also, I think defensively Musselman continues to improve. So again, 42-7. I have Musselman winning, and we'll go ahead and move to the next one, which my personal opinion is the game of the week, and that's University hosting Spring Mills. JD, who do you got and why?
This is a tough one. I mean, both of us have them just right there, 4 and 5, different rankings of 4 and 5, in our polls, but they're both coming in at 4 and 2. The University is playing at home, and I'll keep it short and sweet. That's kind of the reason why I gave them the edge. I've got them ranked one spot ahead of Spring Mills. And like I said, it could go either way, but right now, just my opinion, I think University is going to win a close one, 27-20, Drew.
I like that. That's a good score. And I've been kind of flip-flopping on this all week. I mean, I originally coming into the week, I was like, man, Spring Mills are just too talented for University. But watching some of their film and how well University plays defense, I mean, they swarm to the football. It's
Right.
going to be scary. And we don't know the health of Blake Sanders. He had a separated shoulder a couple weeks ago. And it clearly, hopefully the bye week helped them out, and they struggled against Morgantown offensively. So with that being said, I think Spring Mills is going to compete. I think they'll play hard. But I still have University winning 35-28. But again, I would not be surprised to see Spring Mills go up there, and with Buddy Hess's defense, who plays extremely hard, they've only given up, I think, 47 total points this season. So that they, in 6 games, only give up 47 points, that's phenomenal. But again, University's a well-oiled machine on offense. They don't make many mistakes. They don't turn the ball over. So with that being said, I think University comes out with a W. So we'll move forward to the other game this week, and that is going to be Martinsburg hosting Washington. JD, who do you got and why?
Well, Washington's definitely it seems like they win and lose every other game. So if they kind of that trend, this week they would be taking a loss. But honestly, that Martinsburg has kind of hit their stride. We all know that. They took down the number 1 team in the state, Morgantown, last week, and I just think they really got the ball rolling on the season. I think they ran off 5 straight wins now. They're 5-2. I see that trend continuing, and I've got Martinsburg winning 56-14, Drew.
Yeah, and I had the same thing. You saw Washington, they bounced back from a 51-7 loss to Spring Mills a couple weeks ago. But again, Martinsburg is too much talent. Washington does have a lot of great skill position players. I think Remy is a terrific quarterback. I also think Phil Shields and Matt provide a really good 1-2 tandem. But again, Martinsburg stops the run better than almost any team in the state. And I just don't think that Washington is talented enough to truly compete with Martinsburg for 4 quarters. I do think it'll be a little bit better game than people think. It will be probably 14-7, moving into the second half, kind of similar to how Musselman played, but Martinsburg will run away with it. I have them winning 56-14, so very similar score. But again, we'll move to
that's the first time we have exact same score.
Yeah, 56-14. That's crazy. I got that wrote down too. So
I do too. That's mine.
That's nuts. So again, for the last game of the week is the game we'll be calling on Friday at Jefferson High School, and that's going to be Jefferson hosting Loudoun County. Jefferson won 2 of their last games. Again, still some injuries. Who do you got and why?
Well, we know Loudoun County is always a tough team. I mean, they're undefeated for a reason. They're coming in 7-0, even though Jefferson's got, on a 2-game win streak. I think that, they could build off that, but we don't know the status of Tony Allen. I would say we'd have to guess that he's probably going to sit out this week. I mean, I kind of hope he does just for the longevity of the season. I mean, he's got a high ankle sprain. That usually takes a few weeks to kind of heal up and be ready to go. So assuming that Tony's not going to play, and Loudoun County just being a really tough team, I just don't see.
Medicine, followed by attending Virginia Tech to major in veterinary medicine. Titus Murray plans to attend West Liberty and major in zoo science. Bjorn Offset plans to attend Shepherd and major in traditional biology. Eva Palmer is planning on being an elementary school teacher while still pursuing art in her free time. Chloe Parker hopes to become an emergency telecommunicator at the Jefferson County Emergency Center. Sean Pearson plans to pursue his interest in robotics and AI software development. Evan Pettit plans to go to PIA to get his certificate in aircraft mechanics. Harper Powell plans to attend Blue Ridge Community and Technical College to complete her degree as a radiology technician specializing in MRIs. Catalina Reese plans to attend WVU, majoring in biology, to become a trauma surgeon. Harrison Rhodes plans to attend Blue Ridge CTC to study animal science and continue raising chickens. Joshua Roberts plans to attend the United States Service Academy and major in mechanical engineering. Annika Schwartz plans to go to Shepherd and join the Ram Band. Matthew Sloan will be going to Pittsburgh Institute of Aviation to study to become an aviation technician. Ronan Smith plans to enlist in the Air National Guard and study cybersecurity. Gwendolyn Spates is planning to attend WVU and continue on to become a rehab nurse. Cassandra Stevens plans on attending a 4-year university near New York City to study dance with a minor in musical theater. Charlotte Sutherland plans to attend college and earn a BFA in musical theater. George Sutherland plans to attend college and earn a BFA in dance, eventually becoming a Broadway dancer or a member of a ballet company. Brooklyn Chansky plans to attend a 4-year university and major in elementary education with a minor in dance. Sean Viteri plans to attend a 4-year university to major in biomedical engineering. Bodie Windmiller plans to go to WU to study music education and composition. Congratulations and best of luck to all of our seniors. The Jefferson High School Cougar Band presents Immortals. Music arranged by Steve Martin, Robert Strong, Jonah Lee, and Aaron Hines. Drill design by Terry Williams. Drum majors, Payne Sheedley, Chandler Meyer, and Andrew Viteri. Director of Bands, J.P. Lynch. Assistant Director of Bands, Larissa Elliott. Assistant Director, Hannah Myers. Color guard instructors, Michelle Brannon, Tabitha Foreman-Combs, and Anna Lynch. Drum major instructor, Emily Smallwood. Flute instructor, Tyler Davis. Clarinet instructor, Dominic Massimino. Alto instructor, Tanner Petrie. Mellophone instructor, Bethany Piercy. Trumpet instructor, Devin Torbidoni. Trombone instructor, Matthew Holmes. Sousaphone instructor, Walter Kester. Percussion instructors, Solomon Logan, Richard Yates, and Walter Kester. Pit instructor Tara Foster and Emily Ilias, instructor Annalise Jackson, and announcer Chrissy Crawford. Give it up for the Cougar Marching Band with Immortals.
And welcome back here, guys, at Cougar Stadium. J.D. Fritz along with Drew Pitzer from More Than a Game with Fritz and Pitts, as you saw our little commercial promo there. So check us out on YouTube every week. We are actually on week 8 now. So
crazy.
Yeah, man, I can't believe it's going really well. It's fun, but we're going to talk about this game real quick, Drew. 7-7 halftime. Who would have thought, Jefferson would be, playing right with the Loudoun County Captains. Both teams has pretty much come out and done the same thing. We look at the stats here, rushing pretty close, although, you give the edge there to Loudoun County as Dyson has 81 yards to Ledbetter's 58. But both teams running the ball fairly well.
Yeah, running the ball extremely well. But again, I think the difference of this game has been how Jefferson has readjusted there in the end of the first half. We saw the way that Rockwell, when he came in, was running the football. He ended up scoring a rushing touchdown. It's 8 touchdowns now in the last 3 games. But again, you see Dyson had 13 carries for 81 yards and a touchdown. But also Ledbetter with 12 carries and 58 yards has been toting the rock for Jefferson as well too. So I would say the first half, you got to give that a win for Jefferson, just to be able to battle, compete, and really slow them down. And it says a lot about Loudoun County for them basically being conservative, saying, hey, we're going to go to half. We got to adjust some things rather than put some points on the board, JD.
Yeah, and I agree. Both teams missed some opportunities there right before halftime on a couple deep balls there for Loudoun County, and one slant across the middle, Tykeem Drake in and out of his hands could have resulted in a touchdown or a big gain. So some missed opportunities. We're staying here tied. But, Drew, we're going to go to you real quick and give us some out-of-town score updates. We're about a half an hour behind some of these other scores, so some of these games are well into the third or the fourth quarter.
Yeah, in the third quarter at Huntington High School, they're up 13-3. That is against George Washington. Morgantown's up 38-0 against Parkersburg South. That's at halftime as well. Martinsburg's up 49-0 against Washington at halftime. Spring Mills and University, they're tied 14-14 at halftime now. Okay. And then again, Musselman is up 21-0. That's still in the second quarter, JD.
Yeah, so thanks, Drew. We'll be back with more updates as this game continues. So let's get to the second half. What are we looking at from both teams? Of course, we both love to see the ball being thrown around a little bit. Not sure we're going to see that. I think Jefferson has more potential to throw the ball, even without Tony. I like them with Bray at quarterback and Rockwell back at receiver. I think that gives them, we had talked about it off air, it gives them an extra, playmaker there on the field at receiver. So we're not sure if they're going to stick with kind of what was working. We see Loudoun County, they, I hate to kind of say it, but they look a little bit one-dimensional with the run. We got, Montez Dyson at 13 carries, so we know he loves to run the football. So see him to probably get close to around 30 carries again this game. But not much of a passing team, as we saw a couple open opportunities, but just weren't able to connect.
Yeah, Miller 0 for 4, also took a sack there in that first half. So that Loudoun County, they're going to want to keep running the football, keep the ball on the ground. But again, Jefferson kind of took something out of their playbook and really was winning the time of possession. I think it was relatively even. So right there, you see Dyson had 41 touches last week, only 13 in the first half, so only on pace to have less than 30 carries. Your best defense is your offense. So if Jefferson can continue to hold the rock, continue to tote the ball, take some time off the clock, I think that's where they're at their best, JD.
Yeah, I agree, and we didn't see Tony Allen at all in the first half, so I doubt we see him this game. Even though he went out and tried to warm up a little bit, he is dressed, so I think it's probably in his best interest to probably go ahead and sit this one out. It's a really tight ball game, so they haven't really needed him. Now, of course, a healthy Tony Allen, who knows, how that would have played out and have been effective in this game. We know that probably would have changed a lot in the offensive game plan for the Cougars. But I'd love to see them throw the ball down, take some shots on first down. As we talked about in the broadcast, me and Nate Monroe last night, Wildwood, they have a good little quarterback coming up, and Mason Frankeline, and they took some shots and were able to capitalize. And I'd love to see Jefferson take some shots. You got a big target, 6'2", Ricardo Lewis, caught a couple deep balls last couple weeks, and so other than that one pass there on the slant to Tykeem Drake, they really haven't tried to go to the air too much.
Yeah, and that's going to be something we watch as this second half. We'll see if Jackson Rockwell will be the guy this whole second period. But again, that first drive, I know it didn't end up in the way they want. They kind of got stagnant, and Bray took that sack there. But they looked the best they looked in the way they moved the ball. We're getting 7 to 8 yards a tote as well. We're taking time off the clock. Again, we see Rockwell, and he's comfortable with that position. They have won 2 straight games with him. But I think as we get closer to the playoffs, and the ultimate goal of this team is to go and compete, because they are a top 5 team in the state in terms of talent, to me at least. So if you want to have your best bet, I'm putting Bray Holmes at quarterback, Rockwell back at maybe a wing back or receiver type instance, still getting him the ball a lot. But I think that's where you're at your best, JD.
Yeah, and to play, basically right along with a 7-0 Loudoun County team, the best team over in Loudoun County. So, they've looked really well. The defense has really played well. And considering the amount of carries and the type of yardage we've seen Montez Dyson get over the last few weeks or really all year, I thought the Cougars have done a great job on defense, kind of containing him, letting him just get 6 or 7 yards a carry, and it's only resulted in one score. They've gotten 2 or 3 really big stops on fourth downs. So I think that Jefferson just continues to play well on defense, maybe pick it up a little bit on offense, take some deep shots, see what they can get. And I think they really have a great shot of winning this ball game, Drew.
Yeah, I completely agree. I think the biggest thing for Jefferson in the second half, you have to win first and second down. If you can limit them to maybe making it a 3rd and 7 where they're going to have to air the ball out, that's where I'm taking that as a win as Jefferson. Whenever Loudoun County's in the 3rd and 2 or a 3rd and 1 situation, the whole playbook's open for him, and we see Dyson is so shifty. He's going to break 1 or 2 tackles. He reads his offensive line extremely well. So right now, if I'm Coach Philip Keller, I'm like, hey, we got to win the early downs to set us up to be able to get the ball back and win this game.
Yeah, and if you're the coach and the players of Loudoun County, you're kind of maybe doubting yourself just a little bit, not to kind of put words or put thoughts in their head, but, you probably were expecting to be up maybe 2 or 3 scores at this point against a 2-4 Jefferson team. But that's not the case, so they've got to be a little bit concerned about their offensive struggles so far, not putting up the kind of numbers and the points that they're used to. So we'll see how, what kind of adjustments they make here at halftime. And the second half should be really good, Drew. I'm looking forward to it, man.
Yeah, and you speak on Jefferson being 2-4, but this isn't a typical 2-4 team. Their first 4 weeks of the season, they played against the top 5 team in the state of Virginia and 3 of the top 5 teams in the state of West Virginia, and also just played against an undefeated number 2 ranked team in George Washington last week. So again, this is going to be a difficult game for them to win, but I think Jefferson has all the pieces. We'll see what happens as the second half is about to get kicked off here, JD.
Yeah, and we're going to take a really quick commercial break, and we're going to have a special guest coming in, 2025 Jefferson Hall of Fame, Cheryl Roberts, and we will be right back after a quick commercial break and hear a word from our sponsors. You're watching Home Team Sports TV.
And we are Brothers Bin Blasting, your bin blasting all-stars. A unique sanitizing service begins right after your local trash collection. With a scheduled pickup time and location, we arrive promptly to clean your bins on the spot. Our advanced 360-degree cleaning heads and pressurized water heated to over 200 degrees ensures a powerful blast blasting away 99% of all germs and bacteria. Visit our website at brosbinblasting.com and use code GETBLASTED to receive 50% off your first cleaning.
The Eastern Panhandle is home to teachers and healthcare workers, farmers and fishermen, servicemen and women, golfers, bicyclists, and people who love the outdoors. Where we call home isn't any one thing, so we're not either. At Rosedale,
and we were back here live at Cougar Stadium, and I'm with the 2025 Jefferson High School Hall of Fame inductee, Cheryl Roberts. Cheryl, thanks for joining me today.
Oh, thank you so much. My pleasure.
And so what have you thought about the game so far in the first half?
Oh, man, the first half I was so happy when Jefferson finally got on the scoreboard because it looked like it was too easy for Loudoun County to have scored, and then Jefferson had another opportunity, 4th down, and they turned the ball over. So I was just happy that now it's tied up, and hopefully Cougars will pull ahead and have the 3rd victory.
Yeah, they've got the ball coming out, the first possession here of the second half. And Ms. Roberts, you're 1976 graduate here of Jefferson High School. You ended up becoming a coach many years later. Just talk about kind of your career here at Jefferson, and then going, you were at Fairmont, I believe, for a little bit, and then went to Shepherd, and then kind of made the decision to come back and coach here at your high school alma mater.
All right. Well, thank you so much for that honor of just asking. But my career here at Jefferson High School was terrific. I mean, I played basketball back when, once the season was over, I remember us going like 23-3 or something like that, and that was the end. It was the last game, and there was no playoff. There was no regional. There wasn't anything like that, and we were an awesome team. We were coached by Sherry Brown back in those days.
Oh,
but,
I remember Sherry.
Yes. That was a good time. Then I played softball here as well, and then the other little intramural type activities like, flag football and all that, which is now becoming a big sport for women, is flag football. We played it all the time. So after I left Jefferson, you're right, I went to Fairmont because actually Fairmont's basketball team kept coming into Shepherd and kicking Shepherd's butt.
Right.
And so I wanted to go up there where JoJo Retton, was coaching. They said
Okay.
he's a terrific coach, and I did spend freshman year there only, and I was on the women's basketball team. I was not recruited, but I was a walk-on, happy to be there. But Coach Retton spent some time with me and helped me out a great deal. Came home that summer, and my classmates from Jefferson were playing for Shepherd, so I stuck around, didn't return to Fairmont, and I finished my career at Shepherd. And I played basketball, softball, and tennis at Shepherd University, which was also a pleasure to do. Real fun. After graduating from Shepherd, I went to the D.C. area, got a job as a recreation therapist, and then job opened up at the University of District of Columbia back in 1981, and I got on board because Ed Myers was the assistant coach under Will Jones back in those days, and John Thompson asked Ed Myers to come coach with him. So that created a vacancy, and I was able to slip right in there and stayed there for 5 years. But also that first year, after being on Good Morning America, it kind of pumped everybody up in the town,
that was
in
nice.
the city, and that was a real honor. And we won the national championship, Division II national championship. I remember that game so well, but we beat Florida Southern. And then the next year we went back to the championship again, but we got beat by Wright State. So just a tremendous career there.
Yeah, and just real quick, go back down to the field. The Cougars had a third down and weren't able to pick that up. It's going to bring up 4th and 5, and the Cougars will have to punt it away, give it right back to Loudoun County. But moving forward here, Ms. Roberts, let's talk about your Hall of Fame induction there at Shepherd back in 2015 there. I'm sure that was an honor for you also.
That was indeed. I had a friend that her son was interested in coming to Shepherd to play basketball. She brought him up to meet the coach and see a game or something like that. And she was looking at the wall where all the plaques are.
Right.
And she didn't see my plaque. I had met her with working for the Department of Veterans Affairs. And she looked through everything, and she said she looked 3 or 4 times, and she didn't see me. And she was, she called me, said, Cheryl, I was looking. She said, did something happen to your plaque? I said, no, I haven't been inducted yet. I said, I've been nominated a couple times, but I haven't gotten in. She said, we're going to change that. So she put together a nomination packet, and I was inducted in 2015. And it was, again, quite an honor. Because I had a good career at Shepherd as well. I mean, basketball, softball, and tennis. I played tennis just for 1 year. They didn't have enough on the team. I think you needed 6.
Three sport athlete, they say. So
yeah. That was back in the day when you could. I don't think you can now.
Yeah, I don't know. It's hard to play just one anymore. It's definitely very demanding being a student athlete anymore. As we watch Montez Dyson there take it up the middle near a first down for Loudoun County. But yeah, it's hard to play multiple sports in college. So what can we find Miss Cheryl Roberts doing nowadays? Now that she's retired, she's kind of, you didn't completely ride off into the sunset. You've stayed here locally, I guess. So what are you doing now?
Well, right now, like you just said, I just retired from the Department of Veterans Affairs. It was a wonderful career. I was there for 42 years.
Wow.
And I was wondering what I was going to do with all that time that I spent like 9-10 hours a day working VA, and I was a workaholic. But also now I'm a volunteeraholic, if that's a word, because all of the organizations that I was with. Yeah, go ahead.
No, I'm sorry. Montez Dyson broke loose his big run all the way down inside the 10 for the captain. So now they're in position now to score, Ms. Roberts. So, you want to call this one with me here to see if the captains will be able to put one in. Actually marked him at the 10-yard line. So big gain there for Loudoun County. They're knocking on the door.
Oh, yeah. I hope the defense from Jefferson will stop them. It's possible.
Yeah, they just found a hole to run through, and, he's not a big guy, but he's definitely got some speed.
We might try a handoff and drop it like happened Monday night. I was at that game.
Right. Yeah, they like to give him the ball. We'll see if he carries again, and he does. He's going to try to bounce it outside. Turns it up inside. Montez Dyson twists and turns his way into the end zone for a captain's touchdown to take a 13-6 lead here with 8:38 left to go.
To 7.
Excuse me. Is it 7? Yeah, it is 13-7. I apologize.
Yeah. All right. Well, yeah. I was, just talking a little bit about the career and being at Shepherd and, being a commuter. It was kind of easy to play a couple sports at a time.
Right.
But they don't do that anymore. But Jefferson High School, when I coached there, I coached 10 years at Jefferson High School in 1994 to 2004, and it was a great career here. It was one of the first times that we beat Martinsburg for a change. You know,
Oh, okay,
we
right.
hadn't beaten Martinsburg in years, and it was just a tremendous turnaround of the team.
And the extra point's good. So with 8:38 left to go, your score is now Loudoun County 14, Jefferson 7. Well, we'd like to thank Miss Cheryl Roberts for joining us here for a brief minute, and good luck with everything and your retirement. And we appreciate you coming on with us today.
Well, thank you very much. It's been my pleasure. Thank you for asking.
And we're going to take a quick commercial break and hear a word from our sponsors, and you're watching Home Team Sports TV.
All right.
Performance Fitness, I'm one of the owners here. True Performance Fitness as a whole, you know, we brought this gym to the area and we wanted to bring every walk of fitness in one building. So that's exactly what we did. You know, we have strongman, powerlifting, bodybuilding, CrossFit. We have posing rooms, a full turf, a full track outside. We even have a basketball court. We wanted everything to be under one roof. So that's just kind of the thing that we did. We also went out and we made sure that we got top of the line equipment. We also make sure.
And we are back here at Cougar Stadium. J.D. Fritz, Drew Pitzer back on the mic with me. I'd like to thank Cheryl Roberts for joining me for a little bit there. Hall of Fame 2025, Jefferson High School. She accomplished a lot, Drew, in her career, her athletic career and her professional career. So,
yeah, she's actually in 3 Hall of Fames, University of D.C. as well, too, along with Shepherd, and now here, again, true legend in this area and a really great person, too.
As that kickoff sails into the end zone, so we watched Montez Dyson finally get loose on a long run there that resulted in a touchdown run by Dyson. Take a 14-7 lead here early in the third quarter. Cougars now have the ball for their second possession of this second half. Weren't able to move the ball at all there the first time they had it, so we'll see what they can do here again. So,
again, this is huge. You know, the very first play of the start to second half, they had a false start, pushed them back 5 yards, and that's just where they can't be. You know, I said it, that's a major key for them is they have to get positive yards every play and not put themselves in bad positions. That first drive didn't work out so well. Still a lot of ball game left, though, J.D.
So 2 receivers to each side. Man in motion there is Oler King. Rockwell going to roll to this side, set up and throw. He's got Oler King here, tip the ball. Oler King was open, but way to knock it down there.
Yeah, that was number 6, Reed Biachini. Again, we're struggling.
Biachini. I believe that has how we pronounce it. A little hard, but I think we got it right.
Yeah, I was studying that at half. I was like, what is that, Biachini? I wasn't quite sure. But, again, that was a great play to get a hand on that because that could have easily been a first down with some yards after the catch as well.
So we see the Cougars are opening up, trying to throw the ball a little bit more. And even though you're not successful, it brings up 2nd and 10. I think they still need to try to mix that run in with Ledbetter. He did a great job at 58 yards for them in the first half. So 2 receivers to each side. And Rockwell roll here again. He's going to have to run it. Spins his way, still on his feet. Couple yards short of a first down. It's going to bring up 3rd and about 2 for the Cougars.
Yeah, and again, this opens up the whole playbook for you, though, too, because you still have the opportunity to possibly run it when you're ahead the chains like this. And it's really early to say this is 2-down territory, but you got to be careful because it looks like Loudoun County is starting to find their stride. They made a lot of good adjustments there at halftime. So right here, this has to be one of the best play calls of the year for Jefferson.
Yeah, do you run it? Do you try to throw it? It's a sketchy call because it's nearly 3rd and 3, probably a long 2. Rockwell in the gun, Ledbetter to his right. 2 receivers to the far side. Benner in motion. The handoff goes to Ledbetter. He's got some room. Let's see. They give him forward progress, falls to the 31. He's going to have enough for a Cougar first down.
Yeah, it was a great mix right there, those 3 calls. Again, he had 2 passes, and then it was a 3rd and 2. Had an opportunity to give that to Ledbetter. First down, Cougars. I like the way that this second possession here in the second half is looking.
Yeah, I like the run. It worked for him in the first half. I don't think they should get totally away from it. Although I do like them throwing the football. Benner in motion again. Handoff goes to Ledbetter. No, Rockwell keeping himself on a little keeper, a read option up the middle for about 4 yards.
Yeah, I think that was just the design quarterback kind of draw right there. I knew Rockwell was going to keep that the whole time. Great play fake, though, right there to Ledbetter.
Yeah, and he does a really good job of that. He really rides that out and pulls it right at the last second, and you just don't know whether he handed it to Ledbetter or Rockwell, kept the ball. So real sneaky there for Jackson Rockwell.
and it's a whole different look here in the second half. A lot of man coverage in the first half from Loudoun County, but now we're just seeing a cover one type of look, one safety high. I think you got to take advantage of that.
Yeah, Ledbetter again. Nice gain there on second down. Picks up about 4 yards out to the 39. It's going to bring up another 3rd and 2.
Yeah, again, you want to be third and short, stay ahead of the chains, opens up the playbook for you. A lot of different options right here for Rockwell.
So 2 receivers to the near side here. Ricardo Lewis, the single receiver to the far side of the formation. Benner in motion. High snap. Rockwell throws it. He got Ricardo Lewis a low throw. And that, I know, Drew, was calls from the high snap. He had Ricardo Lewis coming wide open across the middle, but couldn't complete the pass.
And you saw, wherever your foot's pointing as a quarterback is where the ball is going to go. He had his foot pointed a little bit away from where he actually extended his release. Again, that was just a little bit of a bad pass, but ultimately that was because of a bad snap, JD.
Well, look here. Looks like they're going to attempt to go for it unless Rockwell's going to pooch it. But they're going to line up. Maybe not have a run, a play called here. Maybe they're going to try to get Loudoun County to jump off sides. Possibly, we'll see here. It's 4th and 2.
Timeout.
The snap. There's going to be a timeout. Cougars on the play. So Hunter didn't like what he was seeing there. So we're going to stay right here, and we're going to thank a few of our sponsors. We'd like to thank Catro Law, Ameritech Tire and Auto, Rosedale Funeral Home and Cemetery, ERA Liberty Realty, call Cheryl Yates, Benchwarmer Sports Bar and Grill, Cookies and Milk Daycare, True Performance Fitness, Brothers Bend Blasting, and VFW Post 3520. If you're wanting to advertise your business, reach out to us or go to www.hometeamsportstv.com or message us on Facebook. Yeah. Drew, you have any updates for our out-of-town scores?
Yeah, of course, and we'll go ahead and go over to Hedgesville High School where Musselman is up 27-0 in the start of the third quarter. Just happened again, 14-7 here. We have Wheeling Park winning 20-13 against Butler, Pennsylvania. Martinsburg is up 62-0. That's early in the third quarter. Springville is now taking a 21-14 at University High School. And again, Huntington and George Washington, that score is at halftime still 13-3.
All right, thank you, Drew. So the Cougars got a 4th and 2 ball from their own 39-yard line. And they are going to give it to Ledbetter, and he puts his head down. He's got plenty for the first down. He's out to the 44-yard line. So a gutsy call there by the Cougars, but it worked out.
Yeah, again, being the 3rd and 2 is kind of a long 2 as well. To have the confidence to go with Ledbetter and the way he's been running the football the last 2 or 3 weeks, I love to see it. First down, Cougars.
Yeah, and I tell you, give the credit to this Cougars line. Though they're a little undersized compared to the defensive line, they are really moving some people and creating some holes for Trayvon Ledbetter.
Yeah, if you look at both sides of the ball, the defense and offensive line, clearly Loudoun County is bigger and looks a little bit more athletic too, but the heart and the grit of the Cougars front line has been really getting after it this game.
So first down, little counter to Ledbetter, I believe. Nothing there as Loudoun County steps up, sets that edge, and a host of captains in on that tackle. And I think there'll be about a loss of a yard, but it might have given him forward progress back to the line of scrimmage to bring up 2nd and 10.
Yeah, if we had replay right there, you see Carter Scruggs really just dominated a double team right there. Got back, put the early hit on Ledbetter, never allowed him to get anywhere. Again, that's where you get behind the chains. This is not where you want to be at on 2nd and long.
Yeah, you want to pick up some positive yards. They went a little trickery there. Looked like some kind of crisscross in the backfield. I'm not sure. I really like to see them taking a shot on first down. Go back to that. Ledbetter gets the handoff again. Not a lot there. Maybe a yard on the play out to the 45 is going to bring up another 3rd and long, Drew.
Yeah, we're halfway through the third quarter right now. Now's not the time to be conservative, but now's not the time to be cute either. You got to go with what's working. We've seen 2 slant opportunities across the middle of the field that have both had opportunities to break off big, just have been either a drop or a bad pass. I'm going right back at it because that's what was open.
Yeah, they're manning up there, and like you said, they've been open on each side. So I think we'll give the edge there to the Jefferson receivers, and you just got to take that shot. So here we go, 3rd and 9, 2 receivers to the far side. Rockwell with Ledbetter in the backfield. He fakes it and pulls it. He's looking for a man. He's got Hakeem Drake, makes the catch this time. Cuts up inside, down in the third, inside the 30 to the 25. So Hakeem Drake kind of redeeming himself there with a big catch.
Oh, it's a flag back there.
So we got some laundry on the field. Looks like that's going to be coming back after a big play, unfortunately, for Jefferson.
Yeah, Rockwell just stepped across the line when he made that delivery. I thought he was still about a half yard behind, but I guess his foot must have crossed. All it takes is one part of your body to be across the line of scrimmage, and you cannot deliver the ball from a quarterback position.
I thought the rule was the same from high school all the way to NFL. Your whole body had to be completely past the line of scrimmage. You could be a foot or your arm or something. So I'm not sure if it is different for high school, but I thought it was the same. But nonetheless, they called that penalty. So now bring up 3rd and 15 for the Cougars. So that changes up what you want to do on offense. You're going to have to throw the ball a little farther down the field.
Yeah, again, because his whole body was not across. It was just his left foot when he went to go deliver. So it must have to be a little bit different.
Rockwell back to throw. He's looking across the middle. He's going to have to step up, take off, and run for himself. Rockwell's not going to get there, but a great effort. They're going to give him a good spot as he falls forward across the 50 down to the 47. Let's see. It's definitely going to bring a 4th and less than a yard probably, and I would think that the Cougars would go for it here, Drew.
Yeah, it's 4th in the foot. You just got 14 yards right there. Rockwell, really gutsy performance here in the second half. You know, we're dwindling with a lot of time ticking off the clock. I'm going for it right here, and I'm putting the ball right in Rockwell's hands again.
So here comes Benner. Benner comes in. Usually it's time to run the football. So we'll see if this is going to be Ledbetter time again. They've had a lot of success running the football with Trayvon Ledbetter. Rockwell in the gun. Ledbetter to his right. They're going to ride him to Ledbetter. Ledbetter might have just did get there. We'll see if they give him the forward progress. I don't know. We might have to have our first measurement here.
Well, it looks like the sideline official is about a half yard across the first down. I believe that's going to be a first down. But
they are marking it first down, so really good. It was close, but Cougars got it again, and that'll move the chains once again. And if you're Loudoun County, you've got to be a little bit defeated knowing that on 2 fourth-down opportunities they weren't able to stop the Jefferson Cougars.
Yeah, and right there, if I'm Jefferson, also you have Braylon Holmes too, who's a heavier guy who can get that short yardage situation. I think if you give the ball in his hands on a 4th and 1 opportunity, it might have been a little bit easier, but nonetheless, Cougars first down.
So inside of 3 minutes, 2:45 on a running clock, 14-7, Loudoun County leads the Cougars here in this third quarter. Cougars on the move. Ball's marked on the 46-yard line, 1st and 10. 2 receivers to the far side. Rockwell back to throw. He's looking deep. Here he comes. Got Takeem Drake. Takeem Drake makes the catch inside the 5 and into the end zone goes Takeem Drake for the Cougars touchdown.
And what I said a couple weeks ago there, that's a prime time dime. Dropped it right into the bucket for Takeem Drake. Made up for that drop he had in the first half. Touchdown Cougars. An extra point away from tying this ball game up, JD.
Yeah, and that's what we wanted to see in the first half. They came back to it. The deep ball was there. They got one-on-one coverage. Takeem Drake was able to get open by a couple steps, make the catch into the end zone, and now the Cougars, like you said, have a chance to tie this ball game up. 2:23 left to go here in this third quarter.
And shout out to Jackson Rockwell right there. Still trusting your receiver even after he had a really tough drop there in the first half to give him an opportunity to go score right there. Great ball right there. 14-14 coming up. Man, a lot of time left.
So Rocco Marty on the attempt, the extra point. The kick is up, and it is good. So with 2:23 left to go, we're all tied up at 14 once again. We're going to take another commercial break and hear a word from our sponsors. You're watching Home Team Sports TV.
Protect Tire and Auto, here to serve you with all your auto repair and service needs. We are a family-owned business serving our community since 2003. We work on all makes and models from vintage cars and trucks to collectors to today's latest, newest vehicles. So stop in and see us at one of our 2 locations. See you soon.
And welcome back to Home Team Sports TV. JD Fritz joined again by Drew Pitzer. We just watched the Cougars put a score on the board as Rockwell went deep to Takeem Drake for 46 yards and the score to tie this game up at 14. And Drew, you gotta love that. I mean, it was a beautiful ball, like you said. It was a prime-time dime. He dropped that right in the bucket, didn't he?
Yeah, I mean, that was a huge play right there. And the Cougars had, multiple 3rd and 2 situations and a 4th and 1 situation. And that's just the grit. And you can see just the overwhelming improvement from this team from week 1 to now. 14-14 going to the fourth quarter. Not a lot of people would think this game would be at this point. Just a great game plan from Jefferson from start to about right now.
Another little pooch kick by Rocco Marty. Taken there, that time called for the fair catch. That was number 6 again, Reed Bianchini. I tell you, if we were saying his name a little bit more, I think we would really get to it, because there's been a few games that we've called over the last couple seasons that some of those, they just have catchy names, and it's fun to pronounce them when you're able to.
Yeah, I think that if his parents or something, maybe have like a Italiana restaurant, that's a perfect name to have. Yeah, that's something that's almost, just has that Italian feel. I love it. That's a name I got to learn.
Maybe we should just stick to Reed.
Yeah, that's what we'll stick with the rest of the game.
One syllable. So Loudoun County with the ball here from their own 29-yard line. Miller in the gun. Handoff goes to Dyson. He bounces it outside, picks up about 4 on the play. So Jefferson's done, other than that last possession, Dyson had that one long run and then the touchdown. They've really kept him under wraps pretty well for the most part now, Drew.
Yeah, again, and my biggest key when I was looking at this game, I was like, if they're able to hold him underneath 200 yards, which is crazy to say in itself, but if they're able to hold him underneath 200 yards, I think they're able to win this game. Right now he's about at 140 yards, so they're keeping him right where they want him.
Yeah, so basically he hasn't reached his average yet.
Yeah, crazy.
So 2nd and 6 now for the Captains. The handoff goes again to Dyson, straight up the middle. He's got enough for another Captain's first down out to the 40. So we see Loudoun County just sticking with what they know, running the football with Montez Dyson, getting positive yards. And it's going to come down, Drew, I feel like it's going to come down to who has the ball last, with this game. It's back and forth as it's been. It's been a really good game. Neither team has really taken the ball and run with it, so to speak, and with it only have been a one-score game each time, it's going to come right down to the wire.
Yeah, again, and if I'm Jefferson, I'm stacking the box. They're going to have to beat me through the air. He's 0 for 4 throwing right now. I'm rushing him every chance I get.
And here comes Montez Dyson trying to get to the outside, turns it up. Another first down, tackled there by Ricardo Lewis, but not until Dyson gains 11, Drew.
And again, and really, the defensive ends have to create contain. If he's able to bounce, well, really, that's where I see he's at his best in watching his film. When he's outside the numbers and just basically get down the field, that's where he's at his best. Jefferson has to do a little bit better of a job, keep contained inside the tackles.
Yeah, so far it's been a hard-fought game. Probably the toughest game that Loudoun County's been involved in since the Sherando game that they won 15-14. The Cougars have done a great job on defense, an even better job putting points up on offense. A little fake to Dyson. Going to set up, throw back to Dyson. A little wheel route down the sideline. Montez Dyson goes up, makes the catch inside the 30. Can't stay on his feet. He really wanted that one bad because he'd have been walking into the end zone, Drew. Gets up a little shaken up, though.
Yeah, again, that was a full extension right there. He's only 5'7", 5'8". He had to go all the way up and reach for that. You see he's kind of trying to get off the field. That changes the whole game for Loudoun County, as that might have been the last play before the end of the third quarter. Probably one more, but that changes the whole dynamic of the fourth quarter if he's not able to go.
Yeah, great job on the fake and then the throwback over here on the wheel route to Dyson up the sideline. Totally had the Cougars fooled on that one. So you see why, I guess, the Captains don't throw a lot because they have such a good running back in Dyson. But when they do throw, they have a fairly they weren't in the first half, but, they have a fairly high percentage throwing the football just because they run those plays like that. And, you kind of fall asleep a little bit, Drew, on defense in the secondary. As they now have 1st and 10. Ball handoff goes, breaking tackles, pushing forward there. Again, that's number 45. That's Dominic Goodell on the carry, and he's got about 7 yards inside the 20 to the 19.
Yeah, and that'll probably be the last play of this third quarter, and for Loudoun County to be able to get about 8 yards right there without having Montez Dyson on the field, I think that's a win for him. But Jefferson, still a lot of time left.
Yep, and that's going to do it. We're all tied up here at 14 at the end of this third quarter, and we're going to come back to start our fourth and hear a word from our sponsors. You're watching Home Team Sports TV.
2017, we have been the local hangout spot to watch a game and meet up with family and friends. With over 15 TVs, there isn't a bad seat in the house. We have arcade games, including the world's largest Pac-Man, 2 pool tables, and more, serving a full food menu ranging from appetizers to steak dinners, 11 a.m. to 11 p.m., 7 days a week, and later on weekends. Daily drink and food specials, and of course, happy hour from 3 to 6, Monday through Friday. Come on out to Benchwarmer Sports Bar and Grill.
Looking to enhance the beauty of
And we're back, Home Team Sports TV. J.D. Fritz joined by Drew Pitzer. And we watched a long pass play there to Dyson, a good run there by Goodell. And now the Loudoun County captains are in the red zone here. Ball on the 19, 1st and 10. So knocking on the door once again, Drew, here to start this fourth quarter.
Yeah, and Loudoun County's 2 for 2 inside the 20 this evening. So another opportunity for Jefferson to see if they can get off the field, maybe only give up 3 and have an opportunity to maybe put another score on the board. Jefferson has looked extremely good in multiple possessions, but there's been times where they've been lax, giving up a lot of big plays. So right now, these 12 minutes are huge for the Cougars to maybe try to extend their winning streak to 3.
So second and around 3. Single receiver here to the near side. That's David Petrzak trying to get off the field as the Cougars had 12 men on the field. Handoff goes to Dyson. Dyson bounces it outside, picks up the first down. He's going to be tackled right around the 11-yard line. So be first and almost goal. So they can get a first down from the 1, it looks like. So we got an injury timeout here as a Cougar player is down. And we'd like to thank our sponsors once again while we have a minute. We'd like to thank, trying to find my sponsor list, guys. We'd like to thank Ameritech Tire and Auto. We'd like to also thank Catro Law, Rosedale Funeral Home and Cemetery, ERA Liberty Realty, call Cheryl Yates, Benchwarmers Sports Bar and Grill, Cookies and Milk Daycare, True Performance Fitness, Brothers Ben Blasting, and VFW 3522. We appreciate all our sponsors this year. We couldn't do it without you guys. But, Drew, we're going to go to you once again while we still have another minute. And what do you got for us for the out-of-town scores?
Yeah, again, Martinsburg puts another point on, or another 7 on the board. They are up 69-0. That is now going into the fourth quarter, and still late in the third quarter between Hedgesville and Musselman. Musselman is up 27-0. And when we look at the Spring Mills University game, still late in the third quarter, that is still 21-14 University. Or Spring Mills is up against University. That is your out-of-town score report, ladies and gentlemen.
Thank you, Drew. And we'll come back to you a little bit later in this game where we started later. So there should be some finals when we come back to you later on here in this quarter.
Well, the way they've been running the football, it's just ate up the clock to kind of catch up.
As Dyson tries to get to the outside. Great defensive stand right there by the Cougars, as that's number 62 in there. Let's see who that is. That's Anthony Goutreau. So that might be the first negative play we've seen Montez Dyson have tonight, as he'll lose about 2 yards on the play.
And that's huge for Jefferson, though. When you think about it, like I said, coming to the second half, the biggest key was winning the early downs. So they made him lose 2 yards. Now, it's going to have to be forcing Loudoun County to throw the football on one of these 2 downs.
So Morrison and Petrzak here to the near side. Handoff goes to Dyson. He's trying to fight his way for extra yards. Picks up 4, maybe 5 on the play. So he's down inside the 10-yard line, about the 8, Drew.
Yeah, so it's still an opportunity to get another set of downs if they can get to about the 1.5-yard line. So really a big opportunity for Jefferson to force only 3, get off the field, and have enough opportunity to put more points on the board themselves.
We'll see if the Cougars can come up with a big stop here. I would think they would maybe go for it on 4th if they need to, this deep in Cougars territory. But they also have a really good field goal kicker in Luke Morrison, too. So with 2 receivers to each side in that little bunch formation.
Ball start.
And they look like they were going to be back to throw. And so he got a timeout before maybe the play clock was running down, Drew.
Yeah, and right there, I would say you got to be careful to watch the passing game. This is where Alex Miller has really been at his best. He has 14 touchdowns, only 3 interceptions, and he has multiple receivers with over 4 touchdowns. So right now, you have to cover the whole field, but also you got the out-of-bounds marker in the back of the end zone is another defender. If I'm Jefferson, I'm manning up, seeing what we can do, and keeping a spy on Dyson. We talk a lot about having quarterback spies, but I'm keeping a spy on Dyson, making sure he's not the one that gets into the end zone.
Yeah, he's the guy that you really do have to keep an eye on if you're Jefferson. Not saying those other guys aren't capable of making plays, but so far we've only seen Montez Dyson make those big plays for the Captains tonight. So definitely kind of watch where he's going to be. A big 3rd and 7 upcoming here for the Captains, and a big 3rd and 7 on defense for the Cougars as well.
Yeah, and you got to give a shout-out to the Cougars secondary. I mean, they're forcing Miller into he's 1 for 7 tonight. That one big grab there from Dyson was the only completion he has in this game, so well below his season average and his completion percentage. A big 3rd down right here for both sides.
So 2 receivers here to the near side. Morrison, the far wide receiver. The handoff fake goes to Dyson, going to the corner of the end zone. It's knocked away there. Let's see, is that Frank Turk on the coverage? No, that's Takeem Drake.
And they were looking at Morrison right there in the back of the end zone, and we have a Cougar shaking up over there. And again, just the injury bug has just really been after this Jefferson team all season.
Yeah, that might be Turk, because Drake came over there afterwards. So we haven't called Turk's name a lot tonight, so we'll see if he was the one in coverage. If it's number 8. There's that 9, Oler King, Carson Oler King there. So good defense there by Oler King. I want to make sure we give him credit for that. Kind of probably just came down. Looks like he might have landed on his hip maybe or something.
Yeah, he's kind of grabbing towards the back of that, but good to see him walk off on his own power. Hopefully he's all right. But that was great coverage. Again, they were going for Morrison right there. That is a red zone target. A little bigger receiver, has nice soft hands. Great defense from Jefferson. Now it's 4th and 7, and it looks like they're bringing out the field goal unit. We'll see. But also, don't be surprised to see if Loudoun County goes for this right here.
Yeah, and I'm with you, Drew. Like, you do have a good field goal kicker, and so with 10-13 left to go still in the ball game, a lot of football still left to play. So maybe you take the 3 points.
I'm taking the 3 right now for sure.
Yeah, if you have a good, it's still because it's 4th and 7, 4th and 8, roughly. So, man, I mean, you can get that because if you're going to get the first down, you're probably going to score the touchdown. So it's definitely a big decision here for the Captains.
Yeah, they're kicking it.
Definitely looks like they're kicking. They got the tee out. Morrison warming up his leg a little bit, so.
And Jefferson's special teams unit has been extremely good at blocking kicks this year. I think they have 3 block kicks on the season. And, again, they have a return. I know Tony Allen hasn't been playing, but they also have a kick return for a touchdown. Let's see what the special teams unit can do for the Cougars.
You just got to make sure they don't jump off sides if you're Jefferson. Snap a little bit low. The kick is away, and it's up, and it is good.
He called it good.
No, it looked good. It was no good by Luke Morrison. So we have a little different angle because a couple of those extra points that Rocco Marty kicked looked no good from here that were. But, man, I don't know if it was wide right. It looked like it was dead center, but we have a different angle up here in the booth. So your score remains 14-14, though, and the Cougars will take over. Couldn't have asked for a better defensive stand for Jefferson.
Yeah, 10-10 left to go in this game, 14-14, a lot of consecutive numbers. But right now, if I'm Jefferson, I'm going to tote the rock, try to take as much clock off because, again, you see every time Loudoun County's touch it, they're not scoring fast. They got to take 4 to 5 minutes off the clock to get down there and put themselves in position. If I'm Jefferson, be methodical, make a lot of great play calls. You have to play smart right here. Can't jump off sides. You can't have any holdings, can't have any drops. Let's see how they attack this series.
Yeah, if they can get up on Loudoun County and kind of put their back against the wall a little bit, then. So 2 receivers here to the near side. Handoff goes straight up the middle. Ledbetter picks up a nice gain there on first down. Actually, no, they looked like he had about 4 or 5. Only picked up maybe 2 on the play. So bring up 2nd and 8. So if you're Jefferson, Drew, you just kind of stick with what's been working. Run the ball. Get the guys up front moving, work the pass in here and there.
Yeah, stay multi-versatile. I mean, again, that's what's been helping you guys throughout the rest of the season.
There's a big hole for Rockwell. He cuts it up inside. There was a huge hole there for Jackson Rockwell. It did close fairly quickly, though, but he does manage to pick up about 4 yards, so bring up a third and we'll call it 3 for Jefferson. So here's another big third down opportunity.
Yeah, and the Loudoun County defensive line did a great job of scraping across. The blocks right there was able to seal that hole up just in time to not allow Rockwell to really break free. But, again, 3rd and 3, this is where you want to be at. Whole playbook's open.
2 receivers to each side. Rockwell's going to roll here to the near side. He's going to try to run it and throw it. Nowhere to go. And there is a flag, so hold on. It looks like we might have gotten a face mask on the play, which would be unfortunate for the captains because they were able to stop Rockwell on that play as he had nowhere to go. Good coverage in the secondary. But the chains will move once again. So was that just a 5 variety, or are they calling that a 15-yarder?
I think he was just a little grass because, again, he didn't bring him down. It was just initially he grabbed the face mask. But that's because Rockwell's doing a great job with tempo. He's moving faster. They were still adjusting, snapped the ball, put them in a bad position.
So 1st and 10, handoff goes to Ledbetter, straight up the middle. He picks up 3. And you see what they're kind of doing on offense with Rockwell. You know, they'll roll him out, and he'll act like he's going to run the football to draw that defense in, and then he just tries to find an open receiver for a short gain that maybe they could turn into a big gain. That time, the last play, it wasn't open, but we've seen them kind of run that and have success, throughout this game.
Yeah, Rockwell's playing straight off instincts. It looks like backyard football, but this is where they're at their best right now.
Rockwell in the gun, Ledbetter behind him. Rockwell's back to throw. He's going to have to run it again. He's got some room here to the near side. Rockwell's going to be pushed out of bounds around the 42 or 43-yard line. We'll see where they mark him, but that is going to be enough for another Cougar first down.
Yeah, again, this is a great play call right there, allowing Rockwell to see you have 1 second, 2 seconds, you have nothing. You're going to try to tuck it and run. Great job. First down, Cougars.
So Rockwell mixing it up really well. And the thing is, Drew, you're keeping that defensive guessing. You don't know what they're going to do right now. They've done a great job on that read option, giving it to Ledbetter, pulling it back. Rockwell taking off, running with the ball. And when you got the quarterback that can pull it out and is a threat to run the football, you've got to keep the defense has to stay honest.
Yeah, if you're able to do that, it really adds a whole nother dimension to your team.
Again, there's Rockwell keeping it this time. Little pitch there to Olerking. He bobbles it, makes the catch. Very minimal gain, maybe 3 yards on the play, but kind of a dangerous pass. A little last second. Olerking almost didn't see it.
Yeah, right there. That's not what you want to see if you're Coach Hunter. They ended up getting positive yardage out of that, which they could have lost about 1 if Rockwell doesn't get that delivered. But right there, that's scary. 14-14 game, and you're getting closer to midway through the 4th. I don't think I like that decision.
Almost threw like a knuckleball out there to Olerking, and he just kind of was able to just get a hold of it enough. They're giving him a gain of 2, so 2nd and 8, 2 receivers to each side. Rockwell in the gun, Ledbetter to his left. Rockwell back to throw it again. He's got a guy in across the middle looking for Machado, and the ball just kind of dies on Rockwell a little bit. Probably the worst pass that I've seen him throw tonight. Just didn't have enough on it. Doesn't look like he was able to step up and throw the ball the way he would have liked.
And you saw the linebacking core. They were kind of in a cloud coverage right there, so that just wasn't the right decision. Really, you should have been looking at the sidelines right there where they were open at, but that was a great defensive play call right there, and they were trying to attack the middle, and Loudoun County has really adjusted to that.
So with the Cougars' success on 4th down, if you get anything that's within the 3 or 4 yard range, Drew, I would think that if you're right around midfield, you would possibly go for this again. So Rockwell rolling. He's going to take off and run, stretch it out. He's going to be short, but again, like I said, they're right around midfield. I think they go for this on 4th and 3. What do you think, Drew?
Yeah, I think that was kind of a design quarterback run right there. You get about 4 yards, make it 4th and 3, 4th and a long 2. I'm going for it. I'm trusting my guys. 7 minutes left to go, but a really dangerous position you put yourself in if you don't get this first down. Loudoun County could score and run the timeout if you're not careful.
Yeah, they're taking a big risk, but Jefferson's got all momentum right now. A lot of confidence. They've picked up a couple big 4th downs earlier in this half, so Hunter wants to keep that keep that momentum rolling here on this 4th and 3. Ball from the 50-yard lines. Rockwell, 3 receivers to the far side of the field. Rockwell's going to roll that way. He's looking for a man. He does dump it off to Oler King again as he does the same thing. And you see that. He kind of just suckers the defense right in. And as soon as the defense draws in, he just dumps it right off. And first down to Carson Oler King.
And again, you look at that. He's making the defender play too with that man coverage. He's making the guy that's playing on that curl, the flat route, have to commit to him, and then he's just dumping right over top. That's what I'm talking about, the backyard football. That's playing with instincts. First down, Jefferson, 6:25 left to go in this 4th quarter.
Yeah, and I don't know if that's something that they saw on film that they would be able to do. Kind of the first time that we've seen them run this style of offense. And like you said, maybe it's a little backyard football. Maybe they're just telling Rockwell to, hey, roll out, see what you got. If you can dump it off, dump it off. If not, if you got room, take off and run for it.
And again, and Rockwell's doing a great job because he's also tucking it and running so much that the defense has to respect his ability as a runner. So now you're seeing more of a spy look on him, making this guy play to Rockwell and his receivers, getting a first down. Great play. Now you're getting later in the 4th quarter. It's a lot that can happen right here, but Jefferson has all the momentum.
Yeah, and a player down, I believe, for Loudoun County. Oh, no, that's Oler King was the one down. I apologize. Getting up a little bit, and we saw him kind of land on his hip earlier on that defensive play, so he gets up a little shaking. We wonder if it's the same issue, if it's still maybe a hip, or definitely looks like something with possibly his right leg.
Well, I had a hip pointer, and I was walking exactly like that for about 2 weeks, so that's what it looks like with the way his gait is. Hope the best for Oler King, but again, there's still so much time left. Next play mentality for the Jefferson Cougars.
And I'll say it again, Drew. It's first down. Ball's on the 42-yard line. You've got one-on-one coverage over here with Ricardo Lewis. This is where I'd love to see them take a shot.
Yeah, right now I'm taking the shot. You see you don't have no safety help over the top. It's strictly man coverage. Let's see what happens.
So man in motion, Machado. They're going to fake it to Machado. Straight up the middle. There goes Jackson Rockwell. He's got some room. He's going to be tackled from behind inside the 10, but not until Rockwell gains about 30 yards on the play.
Yeah, you see he really sold that fake. He held that into the pocket for an extended period of time. Then they bit on Ledbetter. He ended up taking – that's about a gain of 35 right now. First down, Jefferson inside the 10-yard line.
Yeah, this is the best that I've seen them run this read option, and usually they haven't been the most successful running it this year, but today they found something that they feel is working against this defensive front, and they're doing a really good job opening up holes for Rockwell.
And that's how you take advantage of a defensive line that's super aggressive, that is probably more talented than you. You have to make them make decisions and make them pay.
So 2 receivers to the far side. Rockwell going to take it himself again. Up the middle, there goes Rockwell. Jackson Rockwell fighting across the goal line for the Cougar touchdown, and he is pumped, and the Cougars go up 6.
Yeah, 9 touchdowns in 3 games, averaging 3 touchdowns a game. This guy's really coming to his own right now at the quarterback position. 5:41 left to go. The Jefferson has a late lead against an undefeated team again in the 4th quarter to see how they respond, if they can close this one out.
With the extra point pending, right now the Cougars up 20-14 over the Captains.
It's a big extra point right here, JD. He just squeaked that one right over the left crossbar on his last attempt. See if this is a little bit more polished.
So Rocco Marty on the kick, the extra point for the Cougars. They snap and the hold is good. The kick is up, and the kick is good. With 5:41 left to go, your Cougars take a 7-point lead, 21-14 over the Loudoun County Captains. And we're going to take a quick commercial break and hear a word from our sponsors. You're watching Home Team Sports TV.
And has their own real estate needs. Whether you are buying, selling, renting, or a seasoned investor, I got your back. My name is Cheryl Yates, an award-winning realtor with ERA Liberty Realty.
I've known Cheryl Yates for over 30 years now, and I've always found her to be the consummate real estate professional. On a personal level, Cheryl has handled 3 sales for us over the past 15 years or so and has done an excellent job on each and every one of them. She communicates extremely well, and you never have to worry about where you're at in the sales process.
What I like about Cheryl is she's dependable, she's on time, she's flexible, and she works hard to get the job done. We had our sales very quickly through Cheryl Yates.
Whatever your real estate needs may be, remember me. I'm the key to buying or selling your home.
Welcome back, guys, to Home Team Sports TV. J.D. Fritz joined by Drew Pitzer. We are at Cougar Stadium, and I'll tell you, these players are fired up. The crowd's fired up. The Cougars have a 21-14 lead over an undefeated Loudoun County team, and Rocca Marty's set to kick it off. Another little pooch kick over here to the far side. He's going to take it here. That's number 3, I believe, for the that's Lincoln Sedgerston, if I'm pronouncing his last name right. So
it's either Sedgerston or Segerton. So, again, that's what you want to do. You did not want to kick that off to Montez Dyson. But right here, if I'm Coach Keller, I'm stacking the box, making them have to beat us with a long pass, because even if they do score right here and make it a 21-21 game, you have a lot of time left. But I'm stopping that run, especially on first down, and seeing if you can win this down, because that's what's critical for Jefferson to win this game.
Yeah, I think if you get a stop here, you can run enough of the clock out. But we'll see what happens. 1st and 10, ball on their own 40-yard line. Man in motions, number 6, Reed Bianchini. Handoff goes to Montez Dyson. Up the middle, stopped right there. Ran into a wall of Cougars. It's going to bring up 2nd and 8. You see that defense flying around for the Cougars now. Fired up. Leland Benner in there. Andy Roberts.
Big number 52, Jackson Guther. He's been doing a great job of clogging holes too. But 2nd and 7 still. They got 3 yards right there.
So back to throws. Jake Miller swings it out here in the flat. He's got his man for a first down out of bounds at the 47-yard line of the Cougars.
Bianchini again.
Yep, Bianchini. I might start saying his name a lot here this drive, Drew.
Yeah, they have to change it up. They realize 5 minutes left to go. They still can run the football, but you can't be one-dimensional at this point. Jefferson's going to stack the box and try to take away that running game.
Yeah, and they're going to make you beat you with the pass. You got to take Dyson out of this football game. Make Jake Miller throw that football. 2 receivers here to the near side. Morrison and Goodell. Man in motion is Bianchini. The fake to Bianchini. A little middle screen to Dyson. He's got some room to run. Trips there down the sideline. Cuts back inside. Montez Dyson hits the foot race. He fumbled the ball out of bounds around the 10 or 11-yard line. Let's see where they're going to mark it. But good call by the captains there. Has totally got the Cougars kind of fooled there on the play. As soon as you think the Cougars are going to stop them, man, they pull out these different plays, and that's what good coaching does. They save these plays like these screens, and the one we saw earlier in the game, they pull it, they have them, kind of sitting in their back pocket, Drew, waiting for the right moment to call. No better one than that.
Yeah, but that was clearly a screen package. You saw the way the lineman stood straight up and let the front line just go attack right there. You got to be able to see that on film.
It's a little pistol formation now for the captains. A whistle blows. Going to get a false start. So here we go. The captains in the red zone again. Kind of shooting themselves in the foot, backing them up 5. So it's going to bring up 1st and 15 now from about the 19-yard line.
And if I'm Jefferson, I know you never want to give up a big play like that, but with 4:30 left to go, Loudon's going to, if they score, they're going to score before 3 minutes. You're going to have an opportunity to have the ball last. Like you said, JD, the team that's going to win this game is probably going to be the team that has the ball last. So see what they can do right here, if they can force a stop or if they score quick.
Single receiver here to the near side. Jackson Patterson. Handoff goes to number 1, Dyson, straight up the middle, and he's stacked up there, and they really found that defensive front has found something that they've kind of closed in there. We've got Benner blitzing. I think Phil Keller's done a great job here late in this ball game, creating some defensive stops against this captain's team.
Yeah, Benner's got at least have 8 to 10 tackles on the night, a couple of tackles for loss. He's been crucial for this defense.
So they're going up a little hurry up here. Miller back to throw. Looking for a receiver out here in the flat.
Don't hit the ground.
They say he caught the ball in bounds. That was Bianchini again.
I think that ball, it kind of moved on the ground. He caught the ball, but it looked like the ground made it move a little bit. So our producer's telling me that was a clean catch, but over our view, it kind of looked like he bobbled that a little bit.
Yeah, we need replay. We're going to get it soon, guys, hopefully. So bring up a big 3rd and about 4 now. So definitely probably 4 down territory for the captains. We'll see if Dyson gets the call again. He does. He's bouncing it to the outside. Bottled up there. Second effort. Let's
Flag.
see if they give him the first down. There's a flag on the play.
That looked like a chop block.
Might be a holding call. So this is going to be huge if it goes against Loudoun County. As once again, nearing a first down. Officials haven't made the call yet.
Holding. Offense.
So that's going to back them up another 10. Or you could take the 4th and short. I would back them up.
I'm backing them up, too.
Yeah.
At 4th and 2, with having probably the best back you're going to see all season, with the opportunity just to get 2 yards to move the chains, yeah, I'm backing them up.
Yeah, and that's going to put the captains. Well, let's see. Yeah, that's going to back them up all the way to, what, the 16-yard line?
Make it 3rd and 11.
Definitely not an easy first down to get, but like I said, any yardage they get, even if it's a 4th down, they're going to have to go for it at this stage in the game. We're under 3 minutes now, and I don't know why the clock, once they spotted the ball, they started the clock. I get it. So they've got 2 receivers here to the near side. There's Jackson Patterson in the slot with Luke Morrison out wide. Got Montez Dyson in to block. Pass across the middle. They're going to look like they're going to get a flag, a late flag.
Oh.
I believe that's going to be on Takeem Drake maybe. Got a little bit too handsy across the middle with the receiver.
Was that a catchable ball, though?
And this is a tough call in high school because that was definitely a late flag that came out.
And it wasn't his call. He threw that all the way from the 20. The back judge was going to make that call to see if they're going to wave that off.
And they haven't made a call just yet. I think they're going to stick with it. They're marking it off. It still brings up 3rd down. So they're going to repeat 3rd down. So now it looks like we're almost back at the original line of scrimmage before the last 2 penalties, Drew.
Yeah, clearly that was definitely it was pass interference, no doubt. But I do think that was an uncatchable ball. But, again, the official saw it different. I just wish the back judge would have made that call, not the sideline judge, because that was not his call to make.
So we got 2:35 left to go. Cougars up 7, 21-14. We got a 3rd and 4 upcoming now for the captains. Montez Dyson to the right of Miller, who's in the shotgun. 2 receivers to each side. The handoff goes to Miller. Miller is going to be stopped short of the first down. It's going to bring up 4th and about a yard, so no doubt they're going to go for this one, Drew.
And if they don't get it with only 2 timeouts, Jefferson can realistically almost run the clock out.
Yeah, huge play here for this Cougar defense, and I believe they're going to call a timeout. The captains are going to talk it over as they got 4th and nearly 2, so it's going to be a long 1. And we're going to stay here, and we're going to thank our sponsors once again. So we'd like to thank Catro Law, Ameritech Tire and Auto, Rosedale Funeral Home and Cemetery, ERA Liberty Realty, call Cheryl Yates, Benchwarmer Sports Bar and Grill, Cookies and Milk Daycare, True Performance Fitness, Brothers Ben Blasting, VFW Post 3522. And, Drew, we're going to go to you real quick to our out-of-town scoreboard. What do you got for us?
Yeah, we have a final at Hedgesville High School. Musselman wins 53-0. And Spring Mills and University scored a touchdown, missed the extra point. It is 28-27. That is late in the 4th quarter. Spring Mills is currently in the lead. And then Huntington is up 23-10. That's late in the 4th quarter against George Washington. JD?
Appreciate it, Drew. We will come back to you one final time after the game to get the final scores and updates across the state.
And also, Morgantown bounced back extremely well against Parkersburg South, 45-10. So that was a big win. And Princeton currently up against number 6 Woodrow Wilson, 41-38. That's late in the 3rd quarter.
So a big 4th and a yard here for the captains. They need this to stay in the ball game. No doubt they're going to give it to the man, number 1, Montez Dyson, who's in the Wildcat, they give it to Dyson. He powers his way over the goal line and in for the touchdown. So an extra point from tying this game up. It's a little direct snap to Dyson, something they haven't ran all night, with Jake Miller kind of leading the way there.
Well, Miller actually wasn't in right there. That was number 40, I believe. Yeah, that was Parker. Parker Clary, who was in there leading the way. So a big extra point there right here. We just saw Morrison miss about a 25-yard field goal attempt. So this is not given, but still 2:12 left to go in this game. Jefferson's going to get the ball last. We'll see what happens, though, after this extra point.
All-important extra point. Win you or lose you a game. Oh, snap, the hold to kick. It's up, and it is good. So with 2:12 left to go, we are all tied up once again at 21, and we're going to take one final break and hear a word from our sponsors. You're watching Home Team Sports TV.
Left to go. Where do you think they're in the field goal range? About the 20?
Y'all get ready? Y'all ready?
Yep, let's log in.
Let's go. Go.
And welcome back as Loudoun County ties this ball game up with 2:12 left to go here. But Jefferson is going to have one last chance to try to put some points on the board and win this game. And I said, Drew, I think it's going to come down to whoever has possession of the ball last, and that could very well be the Jefferson Cougars.
Yeah, again, but right now I know Coach Hunter wishes he had his best player in Tony Allen out there. We'll see how much grit and determination they have. Jefferson's looked extremely good tonight. There's a little squib kick happens right there. That's going to go out of bounds.
Wow.
Great field position.
Yeah, they're going to get the ball at, what, the 40? Is that the 40-yard line they're going to get the – that's not what Luke Morrison wanted to do with that kickoff. So he's done a lot of good things tonight for the captains, and that wasn't one of them. It's going to give the Cougars really good field position here to start.
So it says Jefferson only has one timeout, but I think that's flip-flop because Jefferson's only taken one timeout this half. So you have two timeouts with 2:12. But right now I still think you've got to move with a sense of urgency, try to get in the field position. You know, I think if you get to the 15-yard line, that puts you in a position to at least get 3 points on the board or maybe have a walk-off field goal attempt. But you know Jefferson, they're thinking about getting 7 right here.
The Cougars with the ball on the 35. So I believe it's the 40 in the NFL, 35 here in high school. So here's this little 4-bunch set. We've seen this several times from Jefferson over the last couple seasons. They do swing it out to Machado and makes the catch. He's got a little room to run. Stiff arms a man. That closes quick. Great open field tackle there by number 4. That's David Petrezek.
Yeah, again, that was a great open field tackle right there. Now we're underneath 2 minutes. Looked like they had an opportunity to be a big play. Let's see what Jefferson draws up here on second and a long 7.
I think that's Petrezek. I think that's how you spell or pronounce his name. Well, I think I've said it 3 different ways. I apologize to him and his family if we've botched his pronunciation of his name. So second and 7, 1:38 left to go here on a running clock. 2 receivers to each side. They're going to hand it to Ledbetter straight up the middle. Not sure about that call. Is he still going to be short of the first down? The Cougars are going to have to go quickly here.
And they're going to call
up
a timeout.
Third down. Yeah, bring up 3rd and 4 here. I'm not sure about the timeout. Oh, man, I tell you, it's because if you don't get it in your 4th and even a yard here, you've got to kick. I would think you would have to kick this away.
Yeah, again, but you know Coach Hunter, he's not conservative at all, and he's went for it on 3 4 downs. He's been 3 for 3 this. Actually, no, 2 for 3 outside the one that happened in the first quarter. So if he gets it to within a yard, I think he's going to go for it. But if they don't get anything right here, you definitely have to punt it away. And the clock management issues with this Jefferson Cougars team, we've seen this multiple times from actually both sides this evening. You just let 40 seconds tick off the clock between your second and third down play. So, man, I don't like that. Now you only have one timeout left with just underneath 90 seconds. JD, man, they just got to be better than that.
Yeah, clock management has definitely been an issue with Jefferson over the years, and they're going to have to keep that last timeout in their back pocket till they absolutely need to use it, because you definitely don't want to leave any time on the clock for Loudoun County. Oler King in motion. Well, jet sweep, fake it to jet sweep, and that's Rockwell with enough for the first down as he lowers his shoulder across the 45 to the 46, and that'll move the chains again. The clock will stop until they set the chains. So now the clock is moving, 1:15 to go left in the game, and Drew providing a turnover. This clock, it's either going to be Jefferson's going to score and win the game, or it's going to go into overtime here. As Rockwell back to throw. He's looking deep. He's under pressure. He's going to go down. He squirts out of it. Rockwell somehow gets away. He's still on his feet, picks up a nice block down over the 50, down to the 47. So just when you think Jackson Rockwell was going to be tackled for a big loss, somehow was able to get away, Drew. I have no idea, and pick up a positive gain of almost 8 yards on the play.
Yeah, it kind of looked like Eli Manning against the Patriots in 2007. Still a lot of time left to go.
They're going to hand the ball to Ledbetter. Ledbetter's going to be tripped up around the 45, still short of the first down. That's going to bring up another big fourth down. The Cougars going to have to call a timeout with 31 seconds left to go.
Man, that's because now anytime you're inbounds, yeah, right now if they could have got that first down and the clock would have stopped. Right now, I think you got to draw up 3 plays. You got to, if you get this first down, hop on the ball, go for it again, and you have another play drawn up. You go for it, and right then and there, that might take you underneath 10 seconds left to go. Then you'll have to, try to get out of bounds, spike the ball, and see if you can draw up one final play. Again, the clock management issues for this Jefferson team. They didn't turn the ball over tonight. They haven't had a lot of penalties, but clock management in both halves have been disappointing to say the least.
Yeah, it should be second down and 3. They're saying third. Okay, so it's third and third and less than a yard according to the marker over there. You're going to have to, you get this first down, you got to get the first down first. And then I would say this is a perfect time in the game to take a shot. I mean, you've only tried to go to Ricardo Lewis one time and weren't successful on a slant across the middle. But in this juncture in a game, you've got to get some bigger yards. And you're still at the 44-yard line, 45-yard line with just under 32 seconds left to go. Got to pick up this first down here. A little bunch formation, 4 receivers to the far side. Rockwell looking for a man straight up the middle. He's got some room to run. Rockwell cuts it inside, picks up enough for the first down inside the 35 to about the 33. Spike. We're going to have to set up, spike it. So they're going to have to get set here.
Spike the ball.
Clock's going. You got to spike the ball.
It looks like they're going to try to run a play. Oler King changing formations. This is terrible clock management again as they do run a play. Rockwell back to throw, and he's going to be sacked and thrown down for a no gain on the play. They need to hurry up and spike the ball.
Nope, that's going to be last play.
They might get something off.
Oh, he just took a knee.
And that's going to be your ball game, and it ends in a 21-21 tie. We're going to wait and see what's going to happen here.
Yeah, there's OT. It's like kind of how college works. Every team starts at the 25.
But that whole series right there was just a debacle on Jefferson's part. They had no clue. It was unorganized. And I'm really going to blame the coaches on this. They really needed to spike it right there. Instead of trying to get up and run on the play, you have to spike it. And you had, almost 20 seconds. You were just under maybe 20 seconds left, and you weren't able to do it. And Rockwell kind of wasn't thinking. He was under a lot of pressure, took a knee instead of spiking the ball, and the time ran out.
Yeah, again, with 2:12 left, you get the ball back with the opportunity. You just need 3. You get all the way down to the 35. You only got to run 6 plays, and you use 2 timeouts. That's just terrible clock management. Again, that really leads back on Coach Hunter, he's had a great game plan all evening. But right now, at the end of games, at the end of half, that really cost your team. And right now, Jefferson has to score. They'll either get the ball first or be on defense, but it's just like college rules, ladies and gentlemen. So each team will get the ball at the 30-yard line, have an opportunity to score. If they score, the next team will get the ball too until it gets a third overtime. Then it alternates back and forth with 2-point conversion attempts.
Yeah, still going back to that last couple plays there. I just don't understand at all why you wouldn't tell Rockwell to get up. They were up to the line with plenty of time to spike it, and it was first down. I believe it was first down at the time, and you get up and you spike it, and now it's second down, and you've got the ball on, the 30, 33, 34-yard line. You could take a shot, or run something short out of bounds for about 10 to 15 yards and possibly attempt a field goal.
Yeah, man. It's just unfortunate. I think both sides, you look at Loudoun County in the first half, they were so conservative, they didn't even try to score when they had an opportunity to put points on the board. In Jefferson right there, a couple mishaps. You could have spiked it, had 21 seconds, maybe 2 or 3 plays if you go out of bounds. But right then, you have one attempt, and then you kneel instead of spiking it. Just not great execution right there. But still, 0-0 game now. Going to overtime, there is no time limit now, so you don't got to worry about clock management. We'll see how Jefferson does in overtime. First overtime game of the year for us, too.
Yeah, it is. First overtime. Going to be a late-nighter for us. But if for some reason Jefferson loses ball game, you got to go back to those last couple plays that they just totally kind of, was just a lack of awareness, to say the least, not only on the coaches but the players. Because I would think that even if I'm Rockwell, in your mind, you know that you got to get your guys up to the line and spike the ball. So, but I guess Coach Hunter had other ideas. And we're back up here in the booth. J.D. Fritz joined with Drew Pitzer, guys. And this game's going to overtime. It's been a great, exciting game. Best game we've called all year, back and forth. Only a one-score game. And Jefferson had an opportunity to possibly win this game. It didn't work out for him, Drew. Now we're headed to OT.
Yeah, again, they had the ball last. Like you said, whoever has the ball last had an opportunity to win this game, and Jefferson for sure did. But unfortunately, just the clock ran out on them. But with overtime rules, there is no clock to worry about now. Jefferson goes out there and executes. I think they played better than Loudoun County tonight. They'll still have an opportunity to come away with the win.
And it looks like the captains won the toss, elected to defer, so Jefferson will get the first opportunity to put points on the board here in overtime. So should be exciting for us as well as you guys at home. Hopefully you guys are still tuning in here to Home Team Sports TV.
Yeah, free football, an extra quarter here. We love it, man. I'm so excited. The first overtime football game that we actually have ever covered.
Yeah.
So we covered a couple overtime basketball games last season or 2 seasons ago. Now overtime football, free football, ain't nothing better than that, ladies and gentlemen.
Yeah, and I tell you, you got to give Jefferson credit. Aside from the last couple plays there in that series, they've played a really solid overall football game against a really, really good team, a 7-0 undefeated team in Loudoun County. And, the last 2 weeks, they've done an exceptional job. They've put a lot more points on. The first 4 or 5 games, 4 games of the season, they've literally scored 1 offensive touchdown, and they've really lit it up the last 3 games here, scoring multiple touchdowns every single game. So this second half, hopefully they can continue that trend and put a lot of points on the board. They definitely need to finish out this season strong and position themselves for the playoffs here upcoming in the next, 3 or 4 weeks, Drew?
Yeah, 4 weeks away. You got 3 more games left after this. Jefferson has been averaging 36.5 points a game over the last 3 games. So much better than averaging only about 6.5 through the first 4 weeks of the season.
So Machado in motion. They're going to fake to Machado. Hand it to Ledbetter. Ledbetter's looking for some room. Spins his way near the 15-yard line. They're going to mark him at, the 16. So bring up second and, we'll say a long 7, about 2nd and 7 there for the Cougars.
And again, ladies and gentlemen, this is college overtime rules, except they start at the 20. Each team will get a possession regardless. If Jefferson gets 7 and Loudoun County doesn't score, overtime will conclude.
So again, Machado in motion. Handoff goes to Ledbetter. He's going to try to bounce it outside. He's got some room. There goes Trayvon Ledbetter. He's trying to get to the corner. Knocked out of bounds inside the 10. So a big play there by Trayvon Ledbetter as he picks up enough for the Cougar first down. So it'll be 1st and goal now for the Cougars from the 9-yard line.
So 1st and goal, and this is interesting. If Jefferson gets in, how aggressive Coach Hunter has been with 4th and short and 3rd and short tonight. Maybe you go for it, too, and really put a lot of pressure on Loudoun County to score and have to get another 2-point conversion.
Yeah, well, that's probably what Loudoun County would do. If Jefferson gets in and Loudoun County has an opportunity to tie or take this lead. We saw that last week. Jefferson was able to stop GW to get in the end zone and win that game. We'll see what happens here. 2 receivers to the near side, 1 to the far side. Machado goes in motion. Rockwell's going to take it himself on the read option straight up the middle. Picks up about 2 on the play, maybe 3 yards down near the 5. They're going to mark him at the 6. So it'll bring up 2nd and goal from around the 6-yard line.
And that's oh my, that is Montez Dyson who's hurt out there. That is a huge development.
Yeah, and I'm just wondering, with they've got a lot of other players on the team over there. If you really need Montez Dyson on defense, with as valuable as he's been all season long on the offensive side of the ball, and as many carries as he gets, why you would even try to put a player out there on defense to even have an opportunity to get hurt.
Yeah, again, he's at least at 27, 28 carries tonight, probably about 200 yards, and playing both sides of the ball with that workload on offense, you're bound to get hurt. We've seen him been shaken up a couple times tonight. Hope the best for him. He is a tremendous player and athlete.
Yeah, hopefully he's okay. Because definitely like to continue following his career the rest of this season. But he's at least going to have to come out for one play. It doesn't look like he's shaking up too bad. Maybe it's shaking his arm or possibly a shoulder there. So to bring up 2nd and goal for the Cougars. So we'll see what they have dialed up here.
I think if I'm Jefferson, and depending on the severity of his injury, you at least got to put points on the board right now. I think with having him in the game, you wanted to at least get 7. You weren't going to walk away without it. But right now, if somehow it gets to a 4th and over 5, I think you'll have to kick it.
So motion again, Machado. They're going to fake it to Machado. Rockwell's going to keep it. He's going to break a tackle right there, fighting his way down near the goal line. They're going to mark him just short. He's inside the 1, it looks like, at the 1-foot line, Drew.
Yeah, this is tush-push situation, but again, that's not really what Jefferson does. They're going to get into that shotgun formation. That scares me because now you're putting yourself 5 yards behind the ball, and when you only need 1, I wish they would just line up underneath center 2 times in a row and try to get that touchdown.
Right.
We'll see what happens here.
They got 2 chances to get it in. We've seen them not score this short yardage situation several times earlier in the season. The last couple weeks, they've done a great job pushing it across the goal line. We'll see what happens here as we got Takeem Drake now in the backfield. No, the handoff goes to Drake. He's in for the Cougars touchdown here. The first possession in overtime to take a 27-21 lead.
Yeah, all important extra point. Looks like they're definitely just going to kick the extra point. But if I'm Loudoun County and they find a way to score with the injury that happened with Dyson, I'm definitely going for 2 to try to walk out here with the win. But great job from Jefferson. I mean, their combined record from the last 2 weeks against teams are 13-1 now with beating GW last week. But you wouldn't be able to tell them that. The confidence is there.
So Rocco Marty on to kick the all-important extra point. They'll put them up 7. Snap, the hold's down, the kick is up, and it's right through the uprights. So Jefferson pulls ahead 28-21 now here in OT. And it's been just an exciting game all around, Drew. I mean, it was a 7-7 tie here at halftime. Both teams come out really putting a lot more points on the board. None bigger than that 7 points for the Cougars here in overtime.
Yeah, again, from September now to getting almost later here in October, this Jefferson team is a completely different team. Being 2-4, that record does not define who they are. As we move further along into the season, this team is going to be dangerous as anybody. Still, like I said, a top 5 team in terms of talent in Quad A in West Virginia.
Yeah, now the all-important, can they get a stop on defense here? Well, not sure. Montez Dyson is walking out on the field. Doesn't seem to be in a big hurry, but that doesn't matter. Anytime that man is on the field, he's always dangerous. So a little different formation here as Dyson is very deep in the backfield, kind of like a pistol formation. They're going to hand it to Dyson. Dyson is not going anywhere, and he's going to lose a bunch all the way back near the 30-yard line. They're going to give him forward progress to the 25, but that's a loss of 5 to bring up 2nd and 15.
Man, I just do not like that play. You have him 10 yards behind the line of scrimmage. He has to make up all that distance, and clearly he's got something that's bothering him. He's not as healthy as he was when he was coming to this game, and Jefferson's been doing a great job beating him up. Been a lot of licks that they've taken, but now they're delivering the licks themselves.
Yeah, in the same formation here, a little up back there, tight end there on the end of the line of scrimmage. They're going to bootleg it out here. He's got a man wide open in the flat. He doesn't. It looks like he threw to the guy, but he knocked it out of bounds. I believe that was Jackson Patterson that does make the catch. It looked like it was intended for the tight end out there, number 11, Jeremiah Davis, but went past him. But Patterson made a good catch out there in the flat. It's going to bring up 3rd and about 4 now.
And Jefferson right there, they have to be better, and that might have been from film. You've seen he's only been rolling out to the right. They have 3 different routes on their route tree. That's all I've seen, somebody going deep and 2 guys going out for about 7 to 10 yards. You know, it's 2nd and 15. I'm not going to even bite on the run.
And again, Dyson very deep in the backfield. They're going to hand it to Dyson. He's going to not go anywhere as he's stuffed there. And there's Chaim Alvera with a huge tackle for a loss all the way back there to the 16-yard line. It's going to bring up a big 4th down and 6, Drew.
Yeah, again, and the way Loudoun County has their offense set up is they're going to take a timeout to talk about it and see if they can draw something up. Right now, Jefferson has to find a way to make a stop.
And we're going to stay here during this timeout. And this is the biggest play so far here of the season for the Jefferson Cougars. And a even bigger play now for the Loudoun County Captains to stay undefeated on the season. And even though, Drew, this win doesn't necessarily count for points for the Cougars here in the state of West Virginia, it is just a huge victory, you know, to come out against a top team like this, undefeated team, beating two undefeated teams back to back. And I mean, you've got all momentum these last few weeks going into the latter part of the season, and you've got a couple big games. We got Musselman next week right back here at home, and you know, if the Cougars can come out with the win here and make it 3 in a row, they've got the ball rolling here going into the game next week against Musselman.
Yeah, again, be 3 straight wins, but all important 4th down. They got to get this stop first.
So Miller back to throw. The whistle's going to blow. There's going to be a timeout, Jefferson. So a little mind game, a little playing chess there by Coach Hunter as he just did get the timeout.
So, yeah, basically, if we want to go back over what you were saying about how they won't get the points from this game necessarily because the way the WSSAC works is you only get points from beating in-state competition. So the win they got against GW last week, they're going to get all the points that GW beat teams from West Virginia. But this week, you know, it will still count as a win on their win-loss record, but they will not get any points in terms of playoff rankings, which, in my opinion, is very unfortunate.
Yeah, it is very unfortunate because this is a huge win, one of the biggest wins next to the GW win on their schedule so far this year. So, but that's just the way the point system works, unfortunately, here in West Virginia. So, but you know what? Aside from the points, I mean, it's a huge victory just for the mentality of the team, the momentum of this team going forward.
Yeah, with no Tony Allen tonight, I think that's just a huge confidence builder as you're going against a team in Musselman who's also same record as you, 3-4. Whoever wins that game, I think it's a home playoff game too.
So empty backfield there. Montez Sweat going to throw here. He's got a man wide open in the end zone as it was a blown coverage for the Cougars, but there is a flag on the field. We're going to wait and see what it is.
Was there a holding? It looks like he picked up the flag.
So nothing there, so no flag. They're going to pick it up. Wow. Jefferson just got caught in the moment, I think, as Montez Dyson snuck out. Somebody had to pick him up. That opened the middle of the field wide open, and no one was able to pick up, I believe that was Morrison on the catch. So huge there mistake in the Cougars secondary, and now Luke Morrison on the kick. The extra point to tie this game here at 28. The kick is up, and it is good. And the score now tied 28-28 in overtime. So the Cougars had an opportunity to stop on a 4th and 6. Had a blown coverage there in the secondary. So now we're going to have to do this all over again, Drew.
Yeah, and I love it. I mean, it's 6 quarters of football. And right there, that's why I said, you know, it was 4th and 7, not really favorable for what Loudoun County wanted to do. But right there, you can never count somebody out until what the old saying is, the fat lady sings. And right there, Loudoun County put points on the board, and they will get the ball first in this second overtime. So Jefferson has to turn around quick, see if they can get a stop, because I know mentally that could be crushing. But you've seen this Jefferson team bounce back from a lot. Last week had two encroachments on that extra 2-point conversion attempt against GW. Still found a way to win. We'll see about the toughness of this Jefferson Cougars team.
Yeah, they've hung in there good, but when they've needed a play, they haven't been able to step up and make a play on defense, just like the one we just saw. They really needed that stop. And even if you don't give up the touchdown, giving up the first down wasn't so bad necessarily, but you gave up the touchdown on that play and gave them an opportunity to tie this game with the extra point. So we'll see what happens here on offense as both teams now come back out onto the field.
What a thriller, though, JD. I mean,
yeah,
I'll tell you what,
game.
This has had my heart rate up nonstop this whole game. I've really enjoyed it.
So 1st and 10, two receivers to the far side of the field. Miller in a short shotgun, going to hand it, rolled it out to the near side, far side, man out there in the flat, makes the catch, picks up about 3 on the play. So we've kind of seen now Miller with a couple bootleg actions and trying to start to really get this passing game rolling now that we're in overtime.
Yeah, again, and they're really starting to make them bite on that play action. That's a lot because I think Dyson's not at full strength. They're going to try to use him more as a decoy-type factor. So Jefferson has to adjust kind of their game plan defensively to see if they can get a stop here.
Yeah, we watched Dyson carry that one time and took a loss, and just not the same players he's been all throughout this game. And a single receiver here to the near side. That's Patterson with Morrison at the top of your screen. They're going to hand it to Dyson. Dyson's looking for somewhere to go. He bounces off a tackler, cuts it up the middle. There goes Montez Dyson spinning his way down inside the 5. Just when you think you have him stopped, Drew, Dyson breaks out of the pack like we've seen so many times and picks up a big first down, and now they're in business. They're inside the 5 on the 3.
Man, that was such an opportunity for Jefferson to force him to another 3rd and long. And, again, you see Dyson, the superstar, written all over him, makes a man miss, gets to the other side of the field, reverses direction, gets all the way down inside the 5-yard line.
But, man, what a missed opportunity there. They had him stopped, couldn't quite get him wrapped up as he spun his way out, cut back across the field, turned it up to the middle. I thought he was going to bounce it over here, cut up the middle, and, man, that was just an all-out effort on Dyson's part.
Well, we haven't seen any fumbles or interceptions here tonight. We've seen a couple of turnover on downs from both sides. But I think right now, I don't know, it just feels like a time a turnover could possibly happen. Let's see what happens here with Jefferson. 1st and goal at the 1.5-yard line.
Yeah, see if they can punch it in from here. Little trap play. Dyson into the end zone for the captain's touchdown to give them a 6-point lead here in overtime. So kind of a quick turn of events here the last couple of series now for Loudoun County as they put 2 touchdowns on the board, 1 to tie and 1 to take the lead. As Morrison will now come on to attempt the extra point to make it 35-28.
Again, this team is 7-0 for a reason. I mean, winners find a way to win, and we've seen Loudoun County now opportunity to go up 7. If I'm Jefferson, I get the ball back, and there's a way I get in the end zone, I'm going for 2, and I'm ending it right then and there.
So Morrison, the kick is away. It's up,
no
and
good.
It is no good as Morrison shanks it to the right. So that is huge for Jefferson with an opportunity to score a touchdown and win this football game. But they got to score the touchdown first, Drew. Don't want to get ahead of ourselves yet because we all know things don't always go the way you want them to. But right now, as it stands, Loudoun County has a 6-point lead, 34-28. Cougars are back on offense.
Yeah, again, 34-28, but nothing's given. Again, we were trying to almost close Loudoun County out when it was 4th and 8, but they came back, scored a touchdown, then scored another one. Still a lot of football left to be played, at least 4 more downs. We'll see how Jefferson attacks this, but, man, you get into the end zone and you can have an opportunity to make an extra point. Wouldn't it be something they scored and then Jefferson missed the extra point, too, and we go to triple OT?
Wow,
it would surprise me with the way this game has looked.
Jefferson's been a minute since they've been on the field. So 2 receivers here to the near side. Machado in motion. A fake to Machado. Straight up the middle goes Ledbetter. Ledbetter picks up 3, maybe 4 on the play. Cougars kind of going to stick with what works. You're giving it to Ledbetter, then Rockwell will pull it, keep it. But it seems like each time they've gotten positive yards as they almost give him nearly 5 on that play.
Yeah, and Ledbetter, again, he has to be approaching close to 100 yards, but he's playing extremely well. And every time they're doing that motion Machado, you're seeing that their defense is shifted, and Rockwell is seeing what the defensive end is going to do, and he's basically playing right off of that.
Yeah, I'm just waiting to see if they ever do give it to Machado going back because they haven't yet. And I think they're starting to kind of close down a little bit on that run to Ledbetter. As there goes Rockwell straight up the middle again, and that middle just seems to be so wide open, Drew.
So 4 more downs, and we'll probably decide who the winner is. We see Carter Scruggs coming back in. He kind of limped off a couple plays ago. Be huge right here. If Jefferson can, again, get about 4 or 5 yards, make it a more manageable second and short.
So ball on the 9-yard line. Machado in motion. They're going to fake it again. Rockwell's going to bounce it outside and turn it up. There's going to be a flag that could be holding against the Cougars, and that would be huge, devastating penalty, and it is, and it's going to back them up 10. And that's probably one of the first penalties they've had in just the worst moment in the game.
Yeah, and I think that was actually an error by Rockwell right there. I think he should have handed that off to Machado. He had nobody on the edge. There was 0 contained. Machado's so fast. I think he's walking right into the end zone. But we see Rockwell's extremely aggressive, trusts himself right there. I just don't know if that was the correct decision.
Yeah, and like I said, they've been creeping in. They've been closing that in. And you've got, if you're Coach Hunter and those guys, you've got to know that there's nobody playing on the opposite side of the field. Go ahead and take a chance with Machado and see if he can get to the edge and see what he can get outside.
Again, they're not even respecting that. As we see the play clock's now underneath 12 seconds. Looks like they're going to call a timeout right here.
The Cougars not sure about what they wanted to do, taking a little bit too much time. And we're going to take a timeout real quick and hear a word from our sponsors. You're watching Home Team Sports TV. And we're back up here in the booth, J.D. Fritz, along with Drew Pitzer, guys, and we are in overtime where Loudoun County Captains have a 34-28 lead over the Jefferson Cougars. Jefferson had just had a penalty. It backed them up. It's still first down from the 18-yard line. Jackson Rockwell is going to throw it deep. He's got a man. Takeem Drake, the ball falls short and incomplete. Drake had him by a step or two. The play took way too long to develop. The ball kind of hung up there on Rockwell, allowed that defender to come over and knock it away, Drew.
And right there, I understand you want to take that shot, but you had a man underneath. You could at least got those 10 yards back and made it 2nd and 10. Now it's 2nd and 20. Lost it down. Unfortunately, I just don't know right there. We'll see how Jefferson recovers, but these last 2 plays have not been the best from the Cougars.
Yeah, and they've got to score the touchdown here now. There's no, getting a first down. It's touchdown or die. This is the time of game, the time in the game we're at, and not a good time to start, wasting plays. So 2 receivers to the near side. Takeem Drake to the far side of formation. Machado goes in motion. They're going to fake it to Machado. There goes Jackson Rockwell again. We've seen that time and time again. But with needing 20 yards, Loudoun County will give you that 4 or 5 yard gain up the middle.
Yeah, now it's 3rd and 12. So you got to try at least get 6 or 7 right here to make it more manageable. I understand Rockwell wanted to keep that right there to open. The middle did open, but there was no contain from the defensive end. Again, they're daring them to give the ball to Machado, and I would. He's extremely fast.
Yeah, as quick as he is, he can get to the outside and probably have gotten you a lot more yards than Rockwell did there up the middle.
Ricardo Lewis, though, time right now has been very quiet. We've seen him make some big plays.
I don't know why you're not throwing it up to Lewis. Let him go make a play. I'm not sure you want to do it now on 3rd down when you definitely need to get some positive yards. So we'll see what they do here. Is Machado again in motion. They're going to fake it to Machado. He's going to roll around. He's looking for a man. He's got a man in the back of the end zone. Takeem Drake, and he drops the football once again. Looked like he might have had his feet inbounds for the touchdown. But Takeem Drake, just a lack of focus and concentration there.
Yeah, that's unfortunate. Takeem Drake's had a long touchdown here this evening, a couple of great plays, but those two drops are definitely what he's going to remember. A great extended play there from Rockwell, got away from the sack. That's just unfortunate. Now Jefferson has to create their own magic to see if they can try to at least extend this game or win it.
Yeah, and this is where you definitely miss Tony Allen, but I just don't understand why you've went to Takeem Drake so many times when you've got Ricardo Lewis, who has more height, more athletic ability to go up and get a pass. You throw it up to him and try to let him go make a play. And I feel bad for Takeem, but he has to come down with that football.
Yeah, and that one more or less I understand. But now Jefferson with some confusion. 5 seconds left on the play clock. They don't have a timeout to waste either. Just got it off.
Just did get it off. They're going to have to throw the ball into the end zone. Jackson Rockwell running for his life. Let's see what happens. He's going to take off. He finds a man in the end zone, and that's Ricardo Lewis for the Cougars touchdown.
And is that, again, another primetime dime from Jackson Rockwell. No penalties on the field. An opportunity for Jefferson to walk off. What a great play. We're talking about Ricardo Lewis. Haven't heard much of him. Here he comes to save the day. Jefferson has an opportunity to win another game by 1 point against an undefeated team in back-to-back weeks, JD. An impressive and gritty performance.
Wow, I tell you what, that nearly got my heart jumping because I thought Rockwell was going to take off with it, and I knew he wasn't going to get it, but at the last second, because he was nearing that line of scrimmage at the very last second, he dumped it off and found a wide-open Ricardo Lewis in the end zone. No bigger catch for Lewis than the one in this game just now. So the all-important extra point to win the football game. It is up, and it is good, and Jefferson walks out of here with a 35-34 win over the Loudoun County Captains, and everyone's celebrating. What a great comeback. They had the lead. They let it slip away, and they came back, put a score on the board, won it with defense with a missed extra point on Loudoun County's part. And Rocco Marty puts it through the uprights to win this football game for the Jefferson Cougars, Drew. And, man, what a great game. The best game I think we've called in the last 2 seasons. And for the Jefferson to come out with the victory just puts the cherry on top.
Again, back-to-back weeks with a 1-point win over undefeated teams, and I think that's just a perfect introduction for Jackson Rockwell to come away with another HTS player of the game. 5 total touchdowns this evening that he contributed to, 2 passing, 2 rushing. So a great play from Rockwell to extend. He should have been sacked in the backfield. I know nobody's happier more than Takeem Drake to kind of get away with that this evening. Takeem had a touchdown too as well. So great play there. And, we're going to take a quick commercial break before we hear a word from Jackson Rockwell and hear a word from our sponsors. You're watching Home Team Sports TV.
Hey, I'm Jeremiah. And I'm Braden, and we are Brothers Bin Blasting, your Bin Blasting All-Stars. A unique sanitizing service begins right after your local trash collection. With a scheduled pickup time and location, we arrive promptly to clean your bins on the spot. Our advanced 360-degree cleaning heads and pressurized water heated to over 200 degrees ensures a powerful blast blasting away 99% of all germs and bacteria. Visit our website at brosbinblasting.com and use code GETBLASTED to receive 50% off your first cleaning.
The Eastern Panhandle is home to teachers and healthcare workers, farmers and fishermen, servicemen and women, golfers, bicyclists, and people who love the outdoors. Where we call home isn't any one thing, so we're not either. At Rosedale Funeral Home and Cemetery, we are honored to help you plan a celebration of life that reflects one's individuality. Our trusted local team is here to see that your wishes are honored and that your special story is told.
Transform your yard with custom fence and deck, where elegance meets function. Serving Martinsburg and surrounding areas for over 30 years, our expertly crafted decks and fences offer both beauty and protection. From classic woodwork to modern vinyl, Experience the craftsmanship that truly elevates your space.
Hey guys, I'm Kyle with True Performance Fitness. I'm one of the owners here. True Performance Fitness as a whole, we brought this gym to the area and we wanted to bring every walk of fitness in one building. So that's exactly what we did. We have strongman, powerlifting, bodybuilding, CrossFit. We have posing rooms, a full turf, a full track outside. We even have a basketball court. We wanted everything to be under one roof. So that's just kind of the thing that we did. We also went out and we made sure that we got top of the line equipment. We also make sure that all the pads and everything are getting replaced and all the machines are being taken care of properly. That's just something we strive to do for this community. We also like to give back to the community with donations, fundraisers, and other stuff for like kids and the families around. So that's just kind of who we are as a gym, and we're looking forward to seeing you guys.
This is Jimmy, General Manager at Ameritech Tire and Auto, here to serve you with all your auto repair and service needs. We are a family-owned business serving our community since 2003. We work on all makes and models from vintage cars and trucks to collectors to today's latest, newest vehicles. So stop in and see us at one of our 2 locations. See you soon.
And welcome back, ladies and gentlemen, to Home Team Sports TV, where we just had a thriller where Jefferson ended up coming back and winning 35-34 in the last play. A walk-off performance here from Jackson Rockwell. We saw you didn't start this evening, but you ended up having 5 total touchdowns, 2 on the ground and 3 through the air. Jackson, what was that performance like, and what does that mean to you to knock off 2 undefeated opponents in back-to-back weeks?
It feels great. Like I said 2 weeks ago, we came into practice ready. We knew what we needed to do for the rest of the season. We knew we had a hard schedule. We didn't have any easy, I'd say, guaranteed games left, so we just had to come to practice and get to work. And today shows it. We've been working all week and the last 3 weeks.
Yeah, again, you guys start off the season 0-4, and next week you host a team in Musselman who's a much improved team. You guys are both 3-4, and I think going into that week, whoever wins next week will have an opportunity at least to host a playoff game. Yeah. What do you think is going to be the key for you guys to come out victorious next week?
Stop the run, defense. We just got to upgrade our do a lot better on defense. We got to stop the run.
Yeah, I completely agree. And my last question for you is what type of confidence booster does it give you guys to beat 2 undefeated teams in back-to-back weeks? How does that make you feel individually and as a team?
Oh, great. But I knew as our team is great. Our team's really talented. I knew the teams we have, the players we have, we're really good.
Yeah, for sure. And again, ladies and gentlemen, the Home Team Sports Player of the Game 2 times already this season. Jackson Rockwell, 5 total touchdowns. We want to say congratulations to him and good luck next week against Muscle, my man.
Thank you, man.
Great game, brother.
Thank you.
And again, we'll be back here again next week for Jefferson hosting Musselman. We can't wait to call it another thriller, possibly. Again, Jefferson 2 wins, 2 straight 1-point victories. We'll be back next week. Thank you guys for tuning in. We love you. Have a good one.